So to this day, no one on the Apollo mission has ever admitted that it was their shit that was floating in space in the side of the ship. But imagine you're on a ship going towards the moon, right? And then you're just sitting there. You're so excited. You're like, man, we were about to be the first people on the moon. And then you just see movement of the corner of your eye, and you kind of turn like this, and then you see a turd floating, and you're like, it's like your biggest nightmare.
So they were floating and like holding bags and trying to shit into them, floating around in space. And they would, it sounds like probably pretty often, lose it and have to catch it.
Can you imagine? Yes. You're floating in zero gravity and you're trying to hold this plastic bag over your ass. You have no control of where you're going, so you're just like kind of fucking
floating everywhere.
You're aimlessly floating around with a shit bag underneath you, and you're like, I can't poop. Bumping into the walls, trying to like keep the bag so you don't lose one. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Rabbit Hole Protocol. Brock, Doc, and Blake have once again graced you with our presence. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the show so far. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, do everything to help the algorithm. Please, for the love of God, we need more algorithm life to kind of
share with someone that's not a fan of Blake.
Yeah. Share with someone that isn't a fan of Blake's and follows him on everything.
And don't slap me out in public.
Yeah. Also, happy Veterans Day. That's why I'm drinking my fucking Shiner. It's Veterans Day.
Pump your brakes. Let's calm down. Let's say happy birthday to the Marines out there.
Belated birthday, buddy. It's not the birthday. It's not the Marine Corps' birthday anymore. Sorry.
Yeah, but we gotta address that first.
Yes, happy belated birthday. Happy belated birthday, Marines, and happy Veterans Day to everyone that passed basic training.
Because when this comes out, it's going to be a belated Veterans Day regardless. Facts.
Yeah, that's facts. Also, happy Veterans Day to everyone that actually passed basic training.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Happy all of it.
Happy all of it. So, last week we talked about
which places you went for free.
Yeah, tell us about your free meal and your free coffee and how it was. And, you know, if you're a Marine, tell me about how fucked up you got for the birthday.
$250.
Yeah,
don't tell me. I don't care.
Don't tell him. Don't tell you. You don't care. Aren't you the one that would want to know the most?
Sure.
Asshole.
250 years of making Doc's life hell.
Last episode we talked about Roblox. And the episode before that we talked about AI. So AI is going to carry over a little bit in this because we have some theories. But today's topic is all things space. We're going to be deep diving the deep hole, the deep black hole of space.
I was going to say the black hole. Damn it, you took it from me.
Black holes are actually a thing we're going to talk about today. So space is like my autism. I love space. I'm not an astrophysicist, but I do know a bit about space enough to like.
I'm not an astrophysicist. I'm just autistic.
I'm not an astrophysicist. I'm just like, you know, I fucking come when I look at my telescope because I have this 10-inch telescope. And I would just so you know, 10-inch, like the size of a telescope is not its length. It's
doesn't
width.
matter.
What do you mean?
It doesn't matter. Size doesn't matter.
Yes, it does. For a telescope, it does matter.
Oh, I was talking about wieners.
Oh, well, that's up for debate. If you have a micro penis, it matters. I'm sorry.
My wife says it doesn't matter.
She lied.
Speaking of micro wieners, I watched Hangover Part 1 and 2 recently, and I forgot just how small. Was it a prosthetic or was that his real?
He said it's his real dick.
Good for him.
But he's also a comedian, so I don't know if I believe him.
Who knows?
It's just like, okay, I'm going to get off the wiener subject.
It could be the bush. He has a giant bush.
Hang on. Before we go further in the space thing, you're talking a micro penis reminded me of one that I've seen.
Okay.
And it was in the Army, actually. So,
okay.
And ironically, it was on like the biggest guy in that unit.
Did he also take steroids?
No. So this was actually in basic training. this guy, he was like 6'5", but he wasn't fat. I mean, he was a little fat, but he wasn't like super fat. He was just a big guy. And he would shower at night, like when it was lights out. And I always thought he would do that because the water was typically warmer at night. And I go in, and I was like, one night I was just like, I think I'm going to fucking try that too, because I don't want to shower in the morning when everyone else is, when there's a rush. So I showered that night. He was in there, and I accidentally saw it. And it was like it was like a fingertip.
Okay.
Eyes up, motherfucker.
It was an accident. I pretended like I didn't notice, but I mean, and then I realized, oh, that's why he's in the shower at night.
Did you let him have his own shower time from there on out?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, good.
So
good,
I never ever brought it up ever. And
Good.
Unfortunately, he did not pass.
Bring it up.
He did not pass basic training. He couldn't do push-ups at all. Like he could do maybe 10. His run was even worse. So I mean, I hope he's doing well now.
Should do one push-up a day.
I had the opposite. We had a dude that came in, and it came down to his knees, literally.
He had an absolute
and I
hog.
was like, yeah.
Did you know that having a giant penis is actually, or a micro penis and a giant penis are two things that can disqualify you from joining?
Really?
Yeah.
What?
How can a micro get you disqualified? I can understand a giant one, but a micro?
Maybe.
Huh?
Self-esteem, maybe?
Maybe. I don't, or maybe it's a...
We're going down the penis hole right now. We need to be going down the black hole.
Yes, micro penis can disqualify you from military service because a military has standards for normal genitalia that require both testicles and a normal size organs for duty. While the military has medical standards, the specific requirements and potential for a waiver are not explicitly detailed and provided the search results. Normal genitalia are
duty.
For what?
What do you mean for duty? You need normal genitalia to do your duty?
I don't know.
That's weird.
So like during your analysis, does he just like hold the cup against his body and then just like leans forward?
Has to.
I don't know why. I really don't know why.
This is going to turn into a whole different episode if we keep going.
You're right. We need to stop.
Yeah, we should. We're going to go down the wrong hole. Or no hole if you have a micro penis. Anyway, so space.
There's a hole. It just doesn't very far.
So space. There's a lot of things happening in the space world, especially recently. So one thing is, I don't know if you guys know that we have currently 3 interstellar objects in our system.
There's more than 3, but...
Oh, is there more than 3? Do you
I
know?
would think so.
Do you
There's
know
a lot
what
of things that are interstellar in
do you know what an interstellar object is?
It's an object that is in between stellars.
Okay,
You stop it.
So an interstellar object is an object that's not of our system. It's from another star. It's from another star, right? Interstellar means in between, like within different stars. So each
star systems?
Star systems, yes. Well, not star systems, but stars. So our sun is a star.
Yeah.
And our system within that is our solar system. It goes even farther out. Like I think we got the Kuiper belt, and we have another. I can't remember the name of the other belt that's like beyond that.
Orion's belt.
No, Orion's belt is a group of stars, and one of which is a fucking nebula. So anyway, imagine that our solar system is a giant fucking bubble.
Okay.
Right? So there's more beyond Pluto. And it's like
which is a planet, and I will die on this hill.
I mean, I think it's just reclassified as a planet.
Did they?
I think
they've done it like 4 times, I swear.
They go back and forth all the time.
Yeah.
Pluto matters.
Hang on, what's the outer barrier of our solar system called?
That's gonna be our first piece of merch.
Pluto matters.
Yeah. Not Doc. Holy shit. Brock is going to take us on
the heliosphere.
Brock is going to take us on many space-oriented adventures, and I'm excited for it. I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm very excited for it. So I feel like it'll only be right. We have to regularly make the Pluto Matters joke.
Pluto
That'd be one of
matters.
our first
Yes.
pieces of merch.
One of the, so
Calling
real
it
quick, so you guys get an idea of the topics. We're gonna be talking about one 3i Atlas, which is the biggest discussed interstellar object right now because everyone thinks it's a spaceship. I kind of am not sure what it is. I think it might be because it's been doing some really weird shit. But there was also another interstellar object that I can't pronounce the fucking name of because it's so long. It was like the first one that we saw, and it was
like it could be a short word and you couldn't pronounce it.
Yeah, fuck you. So at least I know space, bitch. So 3i Atlas is the most recent discussed interstellar object because of its shape, what it's doing, how it appears, all this other stuff, and then it's viewed through the James Webb Telescope and everything. And it's just doing weird things. Like one of the weird things it's doing is changing trajectory within our system. There's a lot of theories to why, and that could be gravitational differences out in the outer part of our solar system. I think it's approaching right now to the closest. It's the closest point that it's been so far to our sun. So I don't know how far that actually is yet. We'll look into it. So 3i Atlas
aliens trying to come tell us,
dude, it might be
fix your shit.
That's my thoughts because we have 3 almost back to back interstellar objects enter our system, which is very unusual. It goes beyond, and now that could also be because we have the James Webb Telescope, which is the most powerful scope that we've put in space, more powerful than Hubble, and it's catching these things. It's seeing them. Mm-hmm. So it could be just that our technology's advanced so much that we're starting to see them now, or they're new, and that's fucking weird. So
their TV channel of Earth, they're like, we got to interject. We're about to end our best show.
So the next topic we're talking about after that is going to be 10 creepy fucking facts about space.
I like it. This is where I like it.
Now, here's another one that we're going to talk about that I'm sure everybody wants to know. Having sex in space. What happens when you come in space?
I'm going to come.
Can you come in space? That's the other thing.
I mean, I'm going to say yes.
So you will actually be surprised at the answer of this and what happens. After that,
but that doesn't mean that you can't do it.
I never said you couldn't. I said you couldn't. Next thing we're going to talk about is what will happen to your body in space unprotected.
Freeze.
No, not at all.
Explosion.
Not at all either. We'll go into that a little bit more too. And then for some reason, why is can a micropenis disqualify you from service? So anyway, the heliosphere is the outer bubble of our solar system, and it's comprised of like gases. I want to say ice also.
Water in space.
It's not water. It's like frozen gas that's turned into liquid, and it's not water. So we have two.
So there's gonna be more there.
We have two probes that we put out in the 70s called Voyager 1 and Voyager 2. I think Blake, you and I talked about this before. I think Voyager, it's either Voyager 1 or 2, just recently went interstellar, meaning it completely left the heliosphere. It's not in our system anymore. So now, it's funny because it just did that. We launched that bitch in like 1972 or something.
Are we about to lose contact with one of them? It's like on its last leg or some shit?
It's not that it's on its last leg. It's like, well, yeah and no. Basically, one of them is running on like a reserve power thing for just transmitting data back and forth. Voyager probes had like several different systems on them, and they would just basically shut them down over time to kind of reserve power and let it go out. And it's funny because when we launched Voyager, we originally launched them in like, I think it was President Reagan at the time. Was it Reagan? I can't remember. Anyway.
Kennedy?
No, it wasn't Kennedy. It was Nixon. So Nixon told NASA no, that they couldn't do this. But he said yes, but under a condition that the true reason why they were launching it was so that they can get eyes on Neptune and Uranus. Get some eyes on Uranus. Mm-hmm. Which is actually pronounced Uranus. But anyway, so Neptune is one of those planets where we
It's a
never
different hole.
observed Neptune. We just mathematically predicted it. It was never actually
Isn't that where the Krabby Patties are made?
Neptune. No,
Oh, that was by Neptune. Never mind.
no, yeah. Neptune was the fucking god of the sea.
Oh,
Like Roman god.
Yeah, I can't remember. It's not Greek because that's Poseidon, but Roman god is Neptune. But in fact, if you really look at all the names, like Earth has a name, like a Roman name. It's not Earth. It's Terra. And then
I like terraforming.
Yeah. That's where the term terra, when we say terraforming, it's because Earth is called Terra. It's not Earth. Like its actual
I didn't know that.
Latin term is Terra. The moon also has a name, and it's not the moon. It's Luna.
I knew that.
So anyway, Voyager 1 and 2 are out there. One of them just went interstellar, and we still have barely communication with it. And eventually we're going to lose comms with that thing. But the real reason why we launched, one of the reasons why we launched it was to get eyes on Neptune and Uranus. Because
You can get eyes on this.
you can get on this anus, yeah. But the truth is they wanted to go farther.
Mm-hmm.
And
To the anus? Into Uranus? Sorry.
You gonna keep giving these fucking butthole puns, or am I gonna get to actually like throw some fun knowledge out there? So for the first time ever, we got to observe things that we never could see because, like I said, Neptune was never actually observed. It was mathematically predicted based off of way light bends and stuff. And they someone looked through a telescope and was like, "Hey, something passed over that. I think we have another planet out there." And they predicted it based off of like its movement or like the changes in light out there. Because that's really, this is where I said like the size of telescopes do matter, because telescopes, how they see things is they absorb light and then they reflect it back into the eyepiece. So the bigger the scope, the more light it can take in, the clearer you can see things. So if you were to take like a 6-inch telescope, you could look at Jupiter.
Massive.
6-inch telescope? Yeah, sure. You can look at Jupiter, but you're not going to be able to see as much detail as if you look through like a 10 or 12-inch telescope. Because my telescope, I can actually see all the lines on Jupiter.
Interesting.
And I can see Titan, its moon, right next to it. I can actually see Andromeda, which is our closest neighboring galaxy. And the fun fact, if it weren't for the fact that we have so much light pollution, you would be able to see Andromeda with the naked eye. And it would take up more of our sky than even the moon does.
That's actually wild.
Yeah. So if it weren't for the fact that, like, there was so much light pollution, even in the darkest of skies, you would be, well, even in the darkest of skies, you could still kind of see it. But the amount of like skybox that it takes up is actually more than the fucking moon. You just can't.
It's actually kind of crazy how much you can really see in just pure darkness. It's one of the coolest things about being on shipboard deployments in the middle of the ocean on a clear night. You can just fucking see everything.
And then
so many shooting stars, like fucking crazy comets. It's wild.
Yes, it's amazing. And like, have you ever worn night vision and looked at the sky?
Yeah, every time I had
not that I can remember.
Yo, dude, it is crazy because night vision enhances all light sources. So when you look at the sky and you just so many nights out in the field, like I just throw my nods on and just kind of look up. I saw like the craziest fucking shooting star like blasted across the sky. Like when it was so bright that even when I took my nods off, I could see its streak.
It's definitely a comet.
It's a meteor. Comets,
same.
No, they are not the same. Comets and meteors are completely different. A meteor is actually burning. Meteors are burning into our atmosphere. Comets are often like off in the distance, and they only have a tail because they're breaking apart from the sun, and they're made up of completely different things. Mostly gases, ice. That's what gives a comet its tail, is the gases and ice from it breaking apart due to the sun.
Did you just give me an actually moment?
Yeah, I did. Yes, I did. Am I boring you with this shit?
I'm listening. I'm intriguing.
So
I
yeah,
like it. I'm the comedic relief. Okay.
So basically, interstellar objects are objects that have entered our heliosphere.
Yes.
Which means they're officially in our system now from another star system. Meaning that, like, so when you think of it this way, for all of you, I'm going to blow a lot of people's minds with this if they didn't know. Every star you look in the sky is a sun from another system.
It's dead.
It's not always dead, but yes, because the way that light travels, the speed of light, how long it takes for us to actually see it. That was another thing that blew Alicia's mind, was that I was like, every star you see is someone else's sun. Just like our sun is a star in someone else's sky.
What annoys me is when I go to look at a star and then it just disappears into my vision and I look away. I'm like, you motherfucker.
So there's a reason for that. So
I know, I just don't remember.
Our eyes can't collect light in the same way that a telescope can. So, but our peripherals can. And it's weird.
Goddamn human body.
So, like, our eyes suck. If you really think about how our eyes take in light, they're not great. Of course, me and Blake wear glasses. Our eyes aren't great. I mean, I can see without my glasses. I just wear them because I'm in front of a computer. But so our eyes cannot collect light very well, especially distant light. But our peripherals can. I don't know why. It's just the way that light refracts into our corneas and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why when you look where a star is, and you're like, and then you kind of look slightly away from it, it shows up again.
Got ya. That's weird.
It's super weird, but yes. Also, our eyes see everything inverted.
Yeah, I knew that, and our brains are what kind of go.
Our brain flips it back. So we technically, and maybe you actually think as a kid, if our eyes actually see things upside down, is everything really upside down? And our brains are just flipping the switch? No, it's our eyes see things upside down, but our brain switches it back.
To make sense, yeah. I was gonna say with the light thing, like, you know how in I'm going a little off here, in the paranormal realm, and people are like, I saw a ghost out the corner of my eye the other day. It was crazy, and I looked and it wasn't there. It's fun to have that, to where it's like, well, here's the explanation, buddy. It wasn't a ghost. Your eyes just took that in a little weird. That's all that happened.
Maybe. I mean, who knows? Because like I said, our eyes can't see light very... Dude, as soon as you turned after saying that, I saw the fucking dummy. And I kind of like heart dropped for a second.
I love it. Just like, there's a ghost.
Where?
What now? You know what would have been creepier is if I came back and it was gone.
Or it was closer.
Oh, dude, I'd freak out. I'd burn it.
I'd burn it.
I don't know. Actually,
you are gone.
I don't think I would. I'd be like, hey, bud, we're going to make a lot of money together.
You are now my content cow.
Yep. I might still turn him into a content cow. I'm going to make up a story about him and lie to people online, and then just put in the fine print, this is all fabricated. Just because I can't be a complete asshole. I gotta let people know, but they gotta look for it.
Yes.
You gotta put it in like dark font on a dark background.
Exactly. All right.
So 3-Eye Atlas, kids. So
every time we talk about space, I just think about No Man's Sky.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, a little bit. It's obviously not accurate, but so Interstellar Objects 3-Eye Atlas shows evidence of galactic cosmic ray processing. That's not good news. And I don't know. I've read that before, and I don't know why it's not good news. I want to read this. So
why would it be bad news?
I don't know.
The end is nigh.
A team studying the spectra of interstellar comet 3-Eye Atlas has found evidence of galactic cosmic ray processing. While interesting, it's certainly worth knowing. It isn't the best news that astronomers have ever received. It may be very disappointing indeed. In case
this is not the one that's like possibly supposed to like impale us or some shit.
I don't know.
So
I don't know if it's this one.
Fucking...
Hang on. There's a lot of fucking objects that have been supposedly going to hit us. There was even one earlier in the year. You remember that?
No.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the one I'm thinking of. Shit, honestly.
So there was a fucking asteroid heading towards Earth, and NASA was actually mapping its trajectory. And each day, the percentage kept growing of the odds that it was going to hit Earth. So every day, as it got closer, it was like, oh shit, this actually might hit, and it was going to hit like India.
Was it an extinction level event?
No, but it was like city destroyer, basically.
The one I'm thinking of is an extinction level event.
If it's one, it might be one of these because these interstellar objects are massive. They're fucking huge. Like they would take us all out. Like nothing would survive.
It would be like the dinosaurs. Part 2.
Basically, there was a meteor an asteroid. So there's a difference between those two. An asteroid was heading towards Earth. And basically an asteroid in space is just a rock floating in space. It has no tail. It has no gas, exhaust, nothing. It's just a giant fucking rock of mineral that's just hurtling through space. And by the way, there are billions of those just zipping around space. It's a miracle that we haven't been blown up already by a fucking asteroid or a meteor. So, and by the way, that's where it changes. A meteor is what enters the atmosphere and hits Earth. That's a meteor. So it could be an asteroid that hits Earth, but as soon as it goes, no, I'm actually wrong on that one. An asteroid hitting Earth doesn't make it a meteor. Maybe it does. I don't remember. I'll have to look this up. So anyway, there's an asteroid heading towards Earth, and it was huge, and it was like a city destroyer. Basically, if it were to hit like Milwaukee, Chicago, and you name a city, that city would be fucking gone. It'd be like several nuclear bombs going off in that one city. Everything.
I mean, it can hit Chicago. I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, I mean, I would be too. But yeah, so it was a city destroyer. It was not an extinction level event, but certainly a very catastrophic one. And each day, the percent, I think it even went up to like 9% chance that it was going to hit, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe it was 1.9. It was up there. Now, you would think that a 1.9% chance of hitting is not high, but for when it comes to like things involving like objects in space hitting Earth, that's fucking high. Because it's like, it is growing as the days go. So it's like, how much closer do we let this get before we sound the alarms? Which, in my opinion, I think they sound the alarms a little too soon on that one because everybody was in a not everybody, but some people were like, "Please God, let it be real this time." And and it just, and some people were like, "Don't threaten me with a good time. Don't fucking tell me something and disappoint me later. Don't give me hope."
Have you seen the movie Don't Look Up?
Yeah.
No.
Really? You've never? It's on Netflix. It's about a massive rock hurtling itself towards Earth, and it's going to hit. Okay. And there's so many people. People don't believe it. They're just like dismissing it
because the government and the media made them seem like it wasn't a problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they saw that it was a real problem, especially when they could actually see it in the sky, and they started thinking of ways to do it. And then a giant corporation was like, no, we want to make money off of this. Not like regardless of that money wouldn't be able to be spent because they're going to die. And honestly, in the end, the entire world blows up. But
everybody dies almost.
Yeah, everybody dies. But it's 100% how I imagine a situation like that going.
It would be.
In today's day and age.
It would be because it would be like, no, it's not going to hit, blah, blah, blah. And then like when you see it, because they were making it sound like it would pass Earth, but you could see it. So everyone was outside watching it, and then they realized it was actually going right towards Earth. And everyone was like pissed off. They're like, they lied to us. And it was mostly, and then the billionaires got into fucking like shuttles that escaped Earth before it hit, put them all in like cryopods and shit, and then they woke up on another planet and got eaten by aliens. So it Kind of a weird. It was a weird ending. But
that was funny because that dude's prediction of like how people are gonna die. The woman that got eaten. He was like, so that's what that is.
So, yeah,
He's like, we don't know what that means yet.
We don't know what that means yet. All right, back to 3i Atlas. So in case you're catching up, on July 1st of this year, astronomers in the Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System, ATLAS, spotted a fairly large object shooting through our solar system on an escape trajectory. As the world's...
What's it escaping from?
Our system.
Oh.
Basically,
so it's leaving.
It entered, and its trajectory is like on a path out.
Okay, doing a little curve thing there.
Yeah,
not coming straight through.
It won't,
like a boomerang.
See, when an object enters our system, it's not going to go straight through because we have gravity, right? Even out in the heliosphere, we have gravity. And even though you think that, like, for an object that's moving at the speed that it's moving and the size of it and stuff, even out there, like between systems, there is zero. Well, there's not zero gravity, but the gravity is farther and farther apart. So when it enters our system, the sun's gravity reaches all the way the fuck out there. So it kind of goes into a curve, and its escape trajectory, when it does that curve, it does a curve out.
Yeah.
So imagine like a giant fucking teardrop. That's what our system looks like hurtling through the universe. So, and at the center of that teardrop is our solar system. And so, like, when it goes in that teardrop shape like this, it could be coming in from that tail, and it would just curve towards that teardrop and then maybe go out. So it's not like, you know.
I think we should put a disclaimer on, even though we've already started, that we're kind of retarded. So
we're a little dumb, guys. Like
take this with a grain of salt, and mostly, you know, for entertainment.
Feel free to fact check everything I say. Truly, because like space is. I'm not going to be one of those guys that like
Final frontier.
One of the things that I've noticed about a lot of not even just astrophysicists, but like other people that are like in the space community, they don't like to be wrong.
The astrophysicist is a black guy.
Neil deGrasse Tyson?
That's the one. Yep.
There's more than just him. He's not the only fucking one. He's just the most prominent one. So like a lot of astrophysicists, like most of the shit we see is not just theory. I wouldn't say theory, but there's a lot of fact to it also. But there's so much unknown with space to just say that, like, based off of what we've observed things doing, yeah, that's scientific fact. But space is so unpredictable that even the slightest, even a change in what we know is like, it should be accepted. But a lot of these astrophysicists are like, nope, you're wrong. Like, well, what's wrong with being like, oh, I guess what we know is changed now. That's the whole beauty of science and space. Like, things are constantly changing.
What if they're so confident because they're aliens themselves, and then these things that are coming is their ride home?
I don't think that is the case, but
that's fine. I'm gonna go fuck myself.
They don't need to wait on that for the ride home. All the ships are in the ocean.
I just want to know what this thing is. We've gotten 3 sentences in, and I have no idea what we're talking about.
Okay, all right.
I don't think I'm truly going to know, regardless of how long or how far we're in.
As the world's telescopes quickly turned towards it, it was established to be an interstellar object. Our third, see, like I said, there's only 3. Third confirmed interstellar visitor after one-eye Oumuamua, whatever the fuck, and Oumuamua. And 2i Borisov. So yes, this is our third interstellar object, which is funny because the first one was like 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago when that entered. So in the last 2 years, we've had 3.
But what that tells me is just technology has gotten better, and this happens all the time.
Or this is new, which is horrifying to think about.
Third eye, it's Illuminati.
If you really think about it, it's like, you would hope that technology has advanced so much that like we're just now seeing these, and not the latter, which is all 3 of these are new. This has never happened.
I I like to believe that this has been happening this whole time, just for my own sanity. There are certain things that I'm not going to delve too far into, and one of them is interstellar objects entering our
system.
So I'm going to just believe this has been happening the whole time.
In the atmosphere.
Because if it was the latter, that's actually pretty fucking terrifying if you think about it.
It's very scary. When I think of space, I want you to know I've sat here already and had an existential crisis twice, realizing we are very small, just hurtling through
Small as that guy's
darkness, and I'm just like, you know what? I'd like to believe I'm bigger than I am.
Well,
at the end of the day, all I got is me and mine and what's going on right here.
It's funny because
amen, brother.
Amen, brother. Hey, brother. I freak people out telling them the truth of how our solar system moves through space, and how it's not just this fucking pan of planets spinning in a circle on the same spot. Like in school when they teach you this of the planets and stuff. You think of it as like a 3D object that's just sitting in space, floating and spinning around itself. We're not on a plate,
which includes Pluto.
No, I know, but I'm saying that's what we imagine when we first learn it.
We imagine it like it's on a plate, right? And it's just spinning in circles in space. But the truth is, we're actually on a bullet that's going like this through space, and we're going around a black hole. So the our galaxy is. Every galaxy is at the center of it is a black hole, and which you would think that a black hole, you wouldn't be able to see it. It's dark, right? No, the black hole is actually it's bending light around it, so it makes it bright. So the center of our galaxy, when you go and look at the Milky Way, right, you could see at certain times of the year, you could see either the tail part of our galaxy, where our planet is looking out, and then I think it's in the summertime. It's in the wintertime in the States. You can look at the center of the galaxy. So when you see that streak across the sky, that's the Milky Way, that cluster of stars through the middle. In the summertime, you can see it, but it's dim. But in the wintertime, you can see it and it's bright because in a certain time of the year, we're looking right at the fucking middle of our galaxy. And that's a giant black hole it's a super black hole that we're circling. So we're in a spiral, and then to fuck with you a little bit more, our galaxy is also on a bullet trajectory through space.
Quick thing. This is random. I'm just thinking about space. When I was in Japan, I went to, those little like domes you can go to and they project.
The planetarium?
Yeah, and they teach you about space and everything. I went to one, and obviously entirely in Japanese. And it was
pretty to look at.
Greatest. It was pretty to look at, but the greatest nap of my life. Because I eventually was like, I don't know what's going on anymore. And they hired the most soothing voice Japanese person they possibly could have. It was like the best ASMR I've ever had in my life. And you're already fully reclined.
And you're surrounded by stars and planets.
You're surrounded by stars. And it's so comfortable. It's like a comfortable temperature inside. And dude, we like half of us passed the fuck out. It was awesome.
You wanna have a really good night's sleep? Go on your Spotify playlist, put on some headphones, and
listen to the Rabbit Hole Protocol.
And listen to Rabbit Hole Protocol while we scream and say fuck in your ear. So
never mind. I'm not gonna do it.
Well, your microphone would spike and mute you anyway. So
okay. Wake up, bitch!
Wake up, goddammit! So I listen to sometimes I listen on Spotify. I listen to atmospheric space music, where it's just kind of synthy and soothing and stuff, and it's just like it has like good. I'll send you the Spotify playlist that I like to listen to.
Oh, thank you.
Please do.
Okay, I'll send it to Blake.
There were two things that help me sleep. One of them doesn't really help me sleep anymore.
Ambien.
The one that still does help me. It's gonna sound weird. Haircuts and shaving, like someone going to a barber. The sound of like a straight going over someone's beard and cutting it to a smooth shave.
Ironic,
and the
considering you have a beard.
Yes, but It was like it's amazing because I've gone and gotten the professional like barber like straight edge shaves before while I was in because I was like I want to experience this, and it's one of the most relaxing things you can do. So if you're a dude and you've never experienced that, go to a barber. Even if you have a beard, just one time shave it off, grow it back, go experience it. It's one of the greatest.
And if you're
things.
weirded out by straight razors, new straight razors are so like less exposed that they can't slit your throat. So don't worry.
Yeah.
Just stay still.
That too. And the other thing, it was a weird one. Brock, actually, both of you, I don't know if y'all ever felt this. Do you remember sleeping outside of a range? The range is still going on, but your platoon is told, "Hey, you can take off your gear. You're done with the shoot."
And everybody else
can't
is
really
shooting.
go to bed, but you take a nap. Yeah, and everybody else is shooting on the range. That was an extremely soothing sound, and it lulled me to sleep so many times. So when I first got out, sometimes I couldn't sleep. So I would find YouTube videos of gunfire and fall asleep to that. Because
I think we call that
sound
ranges.
fucking like put me to sleep. It was amazing.
That's called trauma.
So
I wouldn't say it's trauma. Because it's not directed to combat. It's just more of like a listening to the bullets in the distance hit.
It's like nice. It's like white noise, but cooler.
Yeah.
What the fuck was I talking about before we?
Space.
No shit, Doc.
I'm sorry. I derailed that one. That's my bad.
Oh, you're good.
There's no rail in space. We can go anywhere.
I was talking about orbiting a black hole. So our galaxy is actually moving through the universe, and we're spinning around the galaxy, and then we're also like in a forward trajectory. So there was a saying and a theory that said that time travel exists, but all the time travelers are dead because they arrived in the wrong spot, because they accounted for traveling back in time, but they didn't account for location of the Earth at that time. So
interesting.
So when they travel through the wormhole of time travel, they arrive in the past, but Earth isn't there yet.
So they just they
just died in the vacuum of space because Earth wasn't there yet, and maybe that's what the fucking meteors are when they burn through the atmosphere. Because we do have
time travelers.
They're just dead time travelers just falling into the sky. So, but yeah, it was just like the one thing that time travel exists, but no one's accounted for location, because when they go and they travel back through time, but the Earth hasn't gotten to that point yet. They go back. They go to the same point Earth was on, or they go to where they were on their Earth at that time. They go back, but it's before Earth was even there. So they're like, let's say they go back 200 years. They go back 200 years, but Earth hasn't arrived to that spot yet. So
it's like there's a few movies that I've seen. I don't remember specifically. I can't think of 100%, but they talk about like the Marvel one. Well, the Moon Knight actually does this, where to go back in time, they changed the sky to where the star system, the way the sky looked back at whatever time period that he was looking at for the pyramids to align or some shit.
So basically what he was doing, he's sitting on Earth and reversing the trajectory of Earth while standing on it.
Kind of. He's moving the sky to, and the way it appeared, he's moving the sky to where it'll show the way the sky looked at that time period.
Yeah. So if you were to ever look at the sky back in ancient Egyptian times, what we see in the stars is, yeah, we might see a lot of the same shit, but other stars have died out based off of the light that finally, when it dwindled out, the light finally reached its end at our point, or because our system is moving through space, those systems are in
spot.
They're not in the same spot anymore. They're in the sky, but they're off from where they used to be when you see it. So like, if you were to able to go back in time and look at the sky in ancient Egypt and mapped it out, and then you came back to current times, that wouldn't be the case anymore.
Which, by the way, speaking of how light pollution has gotten so bad, back then,
Oh
do
my
you think
God.
like walking at night, it was actually pretty fucking bright?
Yeah.
Like, you know, like you didn't.
On clear nights, yeah, or like full
Yeah.
moons.
Not
Yeah.
even
Like
full moons.
it had it had to be pretty easy to get around.
Yeah,
You know,
no. I mean,
obviously not like easy enough to where like electricity is still a necessity, right? We made it for a reason. But I'm saying easier than now, surrounded by light pollution, which is taking away from natural light, and you're just like, it's pitch fucking black. You know, maybe those areas back in the day weren't pitch black. You know what I mean?
A lot of the photos that you'll see in like dark sky parks of like our sky, like with zero light pollution for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of miles. Even though that you are out there, it only looks that bright in the photos you see because they enhance the saturation and the contrast to bring out more light than what is being shown in the camera. So if you were to go to a dark sky park with like a normal camera with no flash and take a picture of the sky, you probably won't see anything. You might see some stuff, but then when you go to the editing, you enhance you just do an enhancement of like color and lighting, and it brings out everything else. So all this pictures that you see of the dark skies is actually not really what it looked like to the eye. Yeah, at night, like you could see a fucking lot. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
it's just not as bright as what these photos show.
Gotcha.
It's still like amazing though.
Since we're on a trajectory in space, we should spiral into words, thoughts.
Are you setting up a pun?
No, I'm setting up an episode.
Oh,
of
us
doing
what?
An episode.
Oh, you mean are you saying get back to the fucking episode?
No, my brain will work in a moment.
All right, as we wait for him. So back to 3-Eye Atlas.
Simulation theory. There we go. That's what it was.
Oh, yeah. So observations of 3-Eye Atlas soon show that it was a comet with a distinct comma formed of ice and dust. There have been plenty of puzzling aspects of the object, from its development of a rare anti-tail, which is true, because when we first observed 3-Eye Atlas, it had no tail. Now that it's got a tail, it's classified as a comet.
Okay.
It had a rare anti-tail, so it's unusual chemical makeup, but we should not be too surprised to be surprised, given that this is only our third interstellar visitor and maybe a 10 billion year old time capsule from an earlier age of the universe. Studying it could tell us the environment it came from, which may be very different from our own part of the galaxy. That's the other crazy thing. Because it's from a completely different system. If we were to ever be able to go and look up what's on it, it might not even be made up of anything within our system that we've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. They're who helped build the pyramids.
Could be. Who knows? Or it's AI. Studying it could tell us the environment it came from. So though the comet is unusual, we should stress that it remains a comet and not an alien mothership.
You don't know that.
You don't know that. Making fucking spoiling my fun. It looks like a comet. It does meet comet things. It is very, very strong resembles in just about every way the comets that we know. Tom Sattler, and NASA's lead scientist for solar system small bodies, explained to The Guardian. It has some interesting properties that are a little bit different from our solar system comets, but it behaves like a comet. So the evidence is overwhelmingly pointing to this object being a natural body. It's a comet. So here's a photo.
When they tell you not to panic, that's when you should panic.
Oh, I didn't think this would take me to a fucking article. So now that the silly stuff's out of the way, on to the science. In a new paper examining the spectra of the comet, which has not been peer-reviewed, a team of astronomers from Belgium and the USA took a closer look at the object's chemical makeup. One particular puzzle revealed by the James Webb Telescope and spectrophotometer for the history of the universe, epoch of reionization and ICES Explorer, is the odd ratio of carbon dioxide to water observed on the comet. The ratio measured for the amount of CO2 gas relative to water is among the highest ever observed in the solar system comet. demonstrating that the comet of 3I Atlas is very carbon dioxide rich, which is unusual. Usually it's hydrogen rich. Prior to the new paper, this may indicate that 3I Atlas was exposed to higher levels of radiation than comets from inside our solar system, or that it may have formed in a region of its original planetary disk where CO2 or carbon dioxide ice naturally freezes out from the gas. Any explanation for the comet's makeup would have to explain the odd ratios and why they were observed when the object was so far from the radiation of our sun. That's the other thing.
I don't know what any of this means.
So basically, it's saying that comets that are in our system that we observe floating through our system have a different chemical makeup, and they don't exert as much carbon dioxide as this one does. Basically saying that this one has been cooked crazy it's been exposed to larger amounts of radiation than what it could ever be possibly exposed to where it's at in our system. So the radiation that it was exposed to was not from our sun.
Got it.
That's what that means.
Totally understand now.
Did that actually make sense?
No.
Yeah, no, it makes complete sense.
Doc, are you simple? Like I Barney styled this. Barney styled this.
The answer is yes.
How much? Okay, imagine this. You have a microwave. You microwave. Yes, you have a microwave, right? And you put something in it, gets it hot.
Jingle, jangle, jingle.
Jingle, jingle,
you hear,
jingle.
Doc?
And it exerts fumes from that after it's microwave because it's hot and stuff, right? Now imagine if you took a microwave from somewhere else that's not of our origin and microwave that same food.
If I went to the neighbor's house,
the steam and shit that came off of it would be a little bit different because it was microwaved in a different source of radiation. Basically, if you were to throw something in a microwave and cook it, it would be different than if you threw it in a fucking nuclear reactor and cooked it.
Okay.
That's what this is. That's what's happening here. Basically, the gases coming off of 3I Atlas indicates that it was cooked by radiation from somewhere else. Or
in a different microwave.
Or that its makeup is from another origin. Obviously, it's from another origin outside of our system. They don't know what it is.
You there? You caught up?
No, he's not.
It's a different microwave.
So unfortunately, they found these objects to be worse fit for the observations than galactic cosmic ray processing. In this scenario, galactic cosmic rays convert carbon monoxide into carbon dioxide, creating an organic-rich irradiated crust on the comet's nucleus over around 1 billion years. If this is correct, it is not great news for humanity's chance to learn about the environments of our other star systems. Lab experiments, I want to say probably because it's going to burn out faster than we can observe it. So let's see. Synthesizing organic rich crust, suggesting that our outer layers of 3I Atlas consist of irradiated material which properties are consistent with the observed composition and is observed spectral reddening, estimates that the erosion rate of 3I Atlas indicate the current outgassing samples. So like I said, it's going to burn out before we can actually collect enough data from it.
Very well. So I see why this is bad news.
It's bad news because we won't be able to study it.
Yeah, we can't look into it.
But I still think that fucking 3I Atlas is more than what they're saying. And this is why I wanted to fucking rabbit hole on 3I Atlas because a lot of things it was doing was very weird. I want to say it changed trajectory too.
I think that all of this is made up. I think this is all a psyop on the American people. I think we're being told to look elsewhere while the lizard people are coming out of their holes and taking over the world.
Yeah.
And I think that America is the center point.
I think Doctor Who has an episode about this. Look at the article that I just sent you guys, okay? This is from November, actually. This is actually a few days ago. NASA database shows...
As of the recording of this?
Yes. NASA database shows that 3I Atlas suddenly sped up and changed path after perihelion. So according to NASA's database about the position of the movement of 3I Atlas shows that the comet shifted unexpectedly near the sun. In fact, it changed trajectory as it moves on a path that will bring it close to Earth this December. It also sped up immensely compared to its original speed when it was observed in the solar system. The space agency's figures confirm that something moved the object off its predicted path with an extra kick, quote unquote. NASA has an easy answer for it. The sun's gravity pushed it away just when it reached perihelion. However, other scientists are not so sure about that. 3I Atlas was traveling at about 209,000 kilometers per hour, and it was discovered in July. But after reaching perihelion on October 29th, it has picked up further speed and is now soaring at approximately 244,000 kilometers per hour. NASA reportedly confirmed for the first time on Tuesday that its course had suddenly shifted beyond gravity's control. So
isn't it transmitting signals too?
I don't know if it was this one or a different one, but I know one of them was. It was like a radio signal of some kind. But like the thing is, you have to be careful with that term because radio signals are kind of just a form of radiation in a way. Just so
aliens.
I fucking hope it's aliens, but everything has a radio signal. Even planets have a radio signal. But
does they have aliens on those planets with radios?
Yeah. But the weird thing about this with 3I Atlas, like that's the big thing to say, beyond gravity's control, meaning that it not only did it shift course rapidly, but it sped up rapidly, and it wasn't gravity that did it.
It's the Millennium Falcon.
It's bigger than the Millennium Falcon by a lot. This is like a Star Destroyer,
the Death Star,
like a Star Destroyer. Yeah.
Is it? Hold on, Star Destroyer or Death Star? This is
Star Destroyer.
Actually, this is something we need to start using to help people. Kind of like with Americans being like, "That's a football field away." When you start talking about shit in Star Wars, everybody knows Star Wars. Everybody knows that shit.
So 3I Atlas.
The Star Destroyer's coming at us.
This is the other weird thing about these interstellar objects is their shape. They're not shaped. They're all cigar shaped.
That's a shape.
Ooh, I like a stogie.
But it's not. But it's weird, right? Because they're kind of flat and cigar shaped. They're not shaped like an asteroid.
Okay.
They're shaped like a ship,
like a spaceship,
like a cigar Star Destroyer.
Yes.
Cigar-shaped Star Destroyer.
Which is why I said Star Destroyer, because it's actually like it's long.
What if
it's like those Tic Tacs that the space guy or the Navy pilots and everybody described?
The USS Nimitz and shit. Yeah.
What if one day,
smaller,
right? Aliens do make contact, right? And they're like, hey.
On a large scale that we know of.
We, one day, were traveling through the cosmos and we picked up a signal of a movie called Spaceballs. And we want to come here and educate you all on how this shit actually goes down. I would be so happy if aliens came and go, is this your extent of knowledge on space? Is Spaceballs? I'd be like, this is the greatest fucking moment of my life.
I would
Is
lie.
that aliens think we only know about space? I'd be like, yes, that's all we know.
Yeah.
Tell us more.
Yeah, this is all like ludicrous speed. Is that a thing?
Do you guys actually sell air in cans? And if they go, yes, I'm going to freak out.
Do you have
question
the
is,
Schwartz?
That's the only thing you got right.
Would you let the alien probe you?
Yep.
No. How much are they paying? Are they paying me in like those
not
little,
about
like
Blake, it's not
jelly
about
pucks?
it's the experience.
Blake, it's not about the fucking money. It's about science.
First of all, you're a Marine.
Who's
Don't act like you've never been probed before in the first place.
I haven't. The closest anyone's ever gotten to my beehole was the peanut butter shot. All right. I never once passed out. I never once got silver bulleted. Okay. Let's get one thing straight. I never let myself pass out. I went to my room and passed out like a fucking man. Okay.
You never
just,
just popped a finger in your ass when you're jerking it just to see what it was like?
No.
Your finger popping
No.
into assholes.
Have you?
No.
He's had someone do it.
Yes, you have, and you don't want to admit it on the internet. That did not.
No,
Blake,
it's on the internet for
I've
sure.
admitted some pretty fucking wild things on the internet, to include fingers in my ass. So
You have. That's right.
That's not a rabbit hole. That's not a hole we're going down right now. Let me get back to this. Let me get back to this. So
back to the aliens.
After perihelion, so at this point, 3i Atlas was not visible from the Earth and was hiding in the sun's glare.
Hiding?
So Harvard scientist Avi Loeb was expecting the object to have at least a 5 billion ton cloud of gas dust around it. Astronomers don't yet have evidence that 3i Atlas has released anywhere close to this much gas, which would qualify it to be a comet. However, that does not happen, which means that something else is powering 3i Atlas that could be a sign of terrestrial engine. Meaning, like,
who's that guy that said that he worked on alien shit?
I was just thinking about him.
Bob Lazar.
Yeah, that's one.
Dude, fuck, man. I wish I was smart enough and just could get a job like that and be like, is it real?
Dude,
just for myself, because I know you got to sign NDAs and you can't talk about it and all this stuff.
I think
and
it's deeper than NDAs.
But I'm like, here's the thing. He starts talking about this stuff. We're in an era where if you say the craziest shit, there's money to be made online. If you could just spout crazy shit, you can make millions. And that's your whole platform. So I'm not discrediting Bob Lazar. I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm not saying he's lying. I'm just saying I can't 100% trust it because I can't see it.
You want to know the facts about that, though?
Well, he was saying it well before
back in the
where
80s,
we are now.
Back in the 80s, everything that Bob Lazar described in the 80s, you see it on the fucking Nimitz videos that are out. Everything that he described, it's a tic tac shaped object, and how it has like a gravitation type engine that he hasn't been able to reverse engineer, which that's what they want to do. Its propulsion system defies anything that we can do. And everything that he's described, but from the way it looks to the way it moves back in the 80s, is the shit that you see in these fucking Tic Tac videos. And the other thing you notice, they all go to the same place, and that's the ocean.
Here's my thing too,
which we know nothing about.
Like,
no.
So Bob Lazar says this, right? Who's to say that all of this isn't faked based off of what he's said, right? Like he has the most reputable, like, this is what it is. I'm just telling you, this is what it is, right? Who's to say that this isn't being faked to, like, distract or convince the populace of something, right? Because I mean, we know that I don't remember what the project was called. Help me. That the American government was like, no, we did that. Like, we've done that on television to all of the American people. I can't remember the name of the undercover CIA project.
Could be
Project Blue Book?
No. Can't remember.
I don't.
Anyway, who's to say that's not happening right now? You know what I mean?
That goes into our discussion that we had about AI. Like, how much of the AI, what if AI is getting to the point where it is right now to make us not believe the truth of something? Because now we start questioning if it's everything you fucking see, you question is AI or not, right? This stuff is so crazy. Why would you ever like it? Because like no one's confirmed that it's real, even though the Congress has had multiple hearings saying we're going to discuss aliens and UFOs, and still give us absolutely nothing. But they don't UAPs, but it's even still like it's enough to where there's a whole ass program that they've admitted, and they can't explain things, or maybe they can, and they just aren't allowed to. Hey, by the way, these things are actually happening. We don't know what they are, and they like to hang out around nuclear objects.
Like if I ever saw an alien video, bases. If it was real, I could never believe it anymore.
The fucking shrimp alien video. Have you ever fucking seen that?
I think you showed that one.
The shrimp alien video is like, it's over a black site in Iraq. And
yeah, you showed me that one.
And it was like this shrimp looking thing that was like upright, and it was floating, like just floating low level, like right above. And it was fluctuating in heat. And it was just floating. And it looked like some shit that you see out of the movie Battle Los Angeles. You remember that movie where the Marines fighting the aliens?
course, he remembers that one.
They look like that, and it's weird because it's like that's the weirdest UAP I've ever seen in my life. Because it was, and then the person that actually released that video got in trouble because
he's probably dead.
No, he's still alive, but he had to be very cautious about what he said because of where the footage was taken. Because the footage was taken through like ISR that was overlooking one of our CIA black sites in Iraq. So it was looking at a very classified area, and this thing
was very weird.
And this thing was floating above it. And he said that he followed it all the way to the fucking ocean, which means it was outside the Persian Gulf somewhere. But yes, like this thing was like, it's weird looking. So yes, the suggestion of the change in speed and trajectory suggests a terrestrial engine, meaning that like it's not a natural thing. This is a built thing. It could be a built thing. Because it doesn't, like, natural objects in space don't behave how 3i Atlas behaves. And no one can explain why. So that's why the speculation of, like, this is a fucking alien mothership. Because it's also heading kind of towards us, in a way.
They're coming to reset the simulation.
You got to be careful with the way NASA says, like, you got to be careful in the way that, like, NASA and shit says towards Earth, because... Yes,
this is also a government organization, so
not even. I don't even mean it just by that. I mean, like, because like, in the context of space objects towards Earth doesn't mean right at Earth. It means the direction somewhere closer to Earth than other objects, minus the fucking moon and Mars and shit. So towards Earth is like it'll come somewhere in the direction of Earth. It's basically towards Earth is towards the observable sky of Earth for like people, astronomers to look at it. Not it's going to actually come towards Earth. But that's the other thing. It's a very vague and broad statement towards Earth because it could be. They kind of are like interusable. Towards Earth could be right towards Earth or within eyeshot of Earth. So
we don't want to create a panic.
So
I do.
So the push that it's a terrestrial engine did drop down fast in a few days, even though it's not linked to the sun's gravity. According to NASA, it's all, of course, NASA said, no, it's fine. All this could be related to at least 13% loss of mass on 3i Atlas near the sun, since this would create much gas that the comet would zoom off suddenly. But this is
what does SpaceX say?
Elon says that if he had any evidence that aliens were out there, he would tell us. He said so far from what he knows, like, and what he has seen and what he knows so far, like, there's nothing out there.
I think Elon is an alien.
He might be. He's probably just lying. So
he's just an autistic African guy.
So the claim that it lost mass and sped up because of that, it's a conjecture. Because and astronomers are yet to see proof of this occurrence, meaning that like they've never seen it happen before. Comets don't speed up when they lose their mass. They just don't.
Yeah.
Because in order for when you lose mass and you speed up, it's just not a thing. It means like something pushed. The only times that we see something lose mass and speed up is with our rockets
or humans.
Yeah. Because like when they lose that mass, it's a booster and it shoots them off, right? Mm-hmm. This, like comets and stuff, when they lose mass, they don't get faster. They typically either stay the same speed or slow down.
I usually get faster when I lose mass.
Everybody does. So 3i Atlas is now becoming visible from Earth. This is what I said about like towards Earth. But the best images will only emerge at the end of November and in December when it will get closest to Earth. The James Webb Space Telescope will be looking for this massive cloud of gas and dust, which will finally ascertain the makeup of this interstellar object. Back to the AI thing real quick. There's a lot of photos out there claiming to be of 3i Atlas, and it basically makes it look like a fucking spaceship with lights down the side. Those are not real. Because as of right now, the only image of 3i Atlas we have is a fucking thermal blob.
Very well. Depends on what you believe.
Did you hear that?
Did you fart? What?
No. Okay, good.
What did you do?
Don't worry about it. That I squeaked. What? You hear that?
You hear that?
Also, the whole AI thing earlier, by the way, it is funny that it does create like a sense of unbelievability towards everything.
Disbelief to everything.
Yeah. I posted a video of myself. Nothing about it was AI. And I had people in the comment. It was questioning like, is this video AI? Everything's AI. Are we all AI?
Oh yeah.
And someone in the comments went, I'm pretty sure this is AI because look at his phone. Look at his phone case. It changes. And I'm like, I filmed it in my kitchen, buddy. This isn't AI. It's really me.
We're to that point.
But we are to that point where people are just going to question
scary.
everything. Like they're not going to believe anything. So it's like, yeah, maybe AI is a big push with AI with the government because they don't want you to believe things that you're seeing. Because we're probably going to start seeing some weird shit.
And it see it with your eyes.
And it ain't going to be fucking exploding pets at people's door.
Yeah. Or twerking pets.
Let me get another beer real
quick. Twerking bears.
I love this video. I want more exploding animals. I love the ones where it's grandma walking out of her front door and then it's just a fucking Abrams this close to her face and she's like, "Oh, what are you doing, little guy?"
Boom.
I saw grandma take off with a jet stream of diarrhea.
Those are good.
I like those too.
They're getting better. They're getting better.
Of course they are.
I know.
Also, we talked about in that AI episode about people hiding the watermark and everything like that, right? Or was this a separate conversation I had with someone else?
Maybe I think it was mentioned.
Okay.
Because
people are doing that now.
Like the watermark.
Oh, hiding the watermark.
People are doing that now. They're starting to hide the watermarks to sell them as real videos. And you can just barely see where it's fuzzed out.
I don't like that at all.
I saw a couple of videos. Someone was like, it had like the sad puppy dog eyes. And it was like, where's the Sora watermark?
Yeah. Where's Sora? Yeah.
So if you guys weren't already creeped out by the possibility of aliens and interstellar objects maybe recently entering our solar system, the real facts that we do know about space will fucking definitely scare the shit out of you because they are actually pretty terrifying. And also, it just goes to show you how incredible our planet is to protect us from being microwaved every day. So,
more about microwaves.
Creepy facts about space that will blow your mind.
Or Earth.
So, number 1, gamma ray bursts, cosmic death rays.
Looks like a phoenix.
I know. So, gamma ray bursts are the most powerful explosions in the universe. Next to me coming in my pants. Releasing intense energy that can obliterate entire solar systems. These bursts are remnants of supernovas, or the collision of neutron stars. While they occur far from Earth, the sheer energy they produce is terrifying.
Isn't this from the sun? No, those are sun
explosions,
bursts?
Yes. Supernova is when a sun explodes, basically. So if a gamma ray burst happened close to us, it would strip away our atmosphere, rendering Earth uninhabitable and basically cook us all. So
unless you're the Hulk.
The sun is a giant nuclear reactor in space. That's the thing about space, right? Okay. You need a suit to protect you from space because it is loaded with different types of radiation. The sun solar flares, which we actually have one hitting Earth, I think, tomorrow. So the northern lights are about to be visible again. The northern lights are a reaction in our magnetosphere that protects us from solar radiation. So the sun being a radioactive fucking reactor, those solar flares is basically the Earth burping at us, and that burp is insanely radioactive. So those solar winds that we get hit with hit our Earth constantly throughout time, basically. And those northern lights is the reaction. So when it hits our Earth, the radiation goes to the north and the south poles because that's what powers our magnetosphere. Well, actually, there's more to it than just that. But north and south poles are the ends of our magnetosphere. So the radiation hits the side of the Earth and then it works its way up or it works its way down. That's why you get those fucking lights on the poles of the Earth.
Which one has Santa in it again? That's the North Pole, right?
The North Pole. The South Pole has penguins, and well, Antarctica is the South Pole, and it's a continent. It's not the North Pole.
There's so much sketchy stuff about Antarctica.
Oh yeah, the pyramids and shit. That could be another rabbit hole we do. Is like the fucking like secret pyramids all over the world. But
there is a multi-government like facility there that is protected. That it has a bunch of plant seeds under lock.
That's not there. It's not Antarctica.
I swear it was in Antarctica.
It's in Norway.
It was somewhere cold. That was close.
It's in the it's by the Arctic Ocean in the north. It's like in it's near Tromsø, Norway. I only know that because when I went to Norway, that's how I found that out. I was like, oh, I didn't know it was here. I thought it was in Antarctica, but it's not. It's because you got to think, if you're gonna have a place that is housing all of our seeds and stuff for all of our agriculture, it's not going to be on the one continent that you can't fucking just get to.
We can get to it.
We can get to it, but like not as easily as Norway.
Okay.
So that place is actually in Norway.
Cool.
Anyway, so basically if we ever got hit with a gamma ray burst, it would strip everything from Earth, our atmosphere, our magnetosphere. It would basically just fucking rip it all away, and we would all cook. We'd be microwaved.
I want to become a little hot pocket. I'm ready for this to happen. I want to become a little pizza roll. You know what I'm saying?
You would think so, but it's not a quick death. I can tell you that.
I know. Just like the pizza rolls, when I watch them heat up in that fucking microwave, dude, it ain't quick.
Nope.
I want to become a pizza roll. I want to start spewing my insides as I heat up.
Vampire stars. So vampire stars are stars that devour each other. So vampires.
Ooh, okay.
So these are also known as O-type stars, which steal mass from other neighboring stars until the smaller one is completely drained. These cosmic,
like a sperm cell.
But these cosmic predators don't stop there. They eventually collapse into supernovas, blasting everything around them into oblivion.
Sound like
so basically how a star is it's just basically a star is just gases in a super condensed spot, and it's so compressed and dense that it burns hot. And that's why it's bright like it is. And based off, and different suns are different colors based off of the gases that make them up. Our star is what's called I think it's a yellow dwarf or a white dwarf. I don't remember. And you have the other ones that are like red giants, blue giants, stuff like that. But a vampire star is basically like a larger star sucking all the fucking mass off of that smaller one. And as that star shrinks, its mass gets so dense that it goes supernova. So basically all that shit compresses and then it pops. And when
so what you're telling me is that star is getting sucked and then it explodes?
Yes. It's getting sucked so fucking hard. It's like, oh my God. And then it blows up and it takes everything out around it,
Quite literally. That's not even an exaggeration.
Not at all.
I want to remind everyone here, in a few billion years, our star is going to explode and we will all perish.
I know.
I'll perish well.
Do you remember learning that in elementary school and going, we're going to die. We're fucked.
We're fucked. It's like, that's billions of years from now. We're fine.
Yeah.
I know. I remember learning about Yellowstone being like, we're well overdue. I'm like, excuse me, what could happen any day now?
Yeah, I could.
Yes.
There's like 9 super volcanoes around the earth right now, and any of them can go off and take us all out.
It's funny because it's like people that don't know are like it any moment, and then you talk to someone that's like, my job is to watch it. We are fine. Like, do not worry about any of this. We are fine.
We're fine.
And it's like, oh, okay. And they're like, the craziest thing you'll see is a little. I lived through that shit. I'm gonna tell my grandkids that was
the same thing.
That was real,
and I'm gonna be like, that was real. I like, by the grace of God, we're still here. I met your grandmother on the ship, on the Ark.
Yep.
It was a wild time.
So we're getting to that point to where we could actually the kids that are old enough, we could show them that movie and be like, "This is real. This is a documentary."
Everyone across the internet right now, clip this. This is going to go viral. Everyone across the internet right now, this is what we need to do. We need to band together. We need to use AI so that way when we start having grandchildren, we can convince them that we lived through the end of the world.
Yes. 2012 was real.
Ones that we can put it in history books because we will be the only ones that control that.
And like
we can create a timeline.
Just the fucking viral global gaslighting that the fucking 2012 actually was. Actually, the Mayans were right. This shit happened.
Yes.
We lived.
And 200 years from now, people will be like, "Can you believe the heroes of 2012?"
The heroes of 2012.
You know what I mean? They're gonna be like, "We are here because of the heroes of 20." All of our names will be on placards.
John Cusack saved the world, everybody.
Yes.
So
Dick Cheney was right.
He's dead now, but
yeah.
So
did someone shoot him?
No, he died of old age.
No,
what the fuck?
Yeah, he's old as shit.
Well, he shot someone in the face. I just remember that.
Oh, duck hunting? Yeah, I remember that. Like he just
quail.
It was like quail hunting, pheasant hunting, or whatever. He just fucking he accidentally shot his buddy in the fucking face with a bird shot.
I remember that.
And then
got a lot of people shot in the face.
And the fucking dude he shot apologized to Dick Cheney for getting shot in the face. I'm sorry I was in front of your gun and you shot me in the mouth. Like
Bill Clinton also shot people in the face.
Yeah, her name was Monica. So as if sitting on basically flying through the fucking space like a bullet wasn't scary enough, there's a reason why our galaxy is moving. So in the vastness of the universe, there's actually a thing called, so astrophysicists have actually kind of mapped out the universe in a way. It's kind of mostly theory, mathematical equations, all this stuff. And it's all led to one conclusion, is that there's a thing called the Great Attractor inside of our universe, which is basically...
I call my wife.
So the Great Attractor is no one knows what it is. It's just a massive gravitational force in our universe that's pulling everything to it like a vacuum. So deep in space, 250 million light years away, lies the Great Attractor. The gravitational anomaly plus galaxies, including ours, pulls galaxies, including ours, towards it with no apparent reason or mass to justify such a force. Scientists still don't understand this mysterious region, but the thought is that we're slowly being drawn towards a cataclysmic collision is unsettling. So basically, something in our universe is hoovering Atlas. Up everything. It's Atlas, 3i Atlas.
The irony of like the Atlas is the thing in No Man's Sky that like controls and also like resets everything.
Makes the 3i
This thing is called 3i Atlas.
Yeah.
I am fairly certain around this time last year, Brock, when it was just me and you, we looked at this exact article.
We did.
Okay. I just want to make sure I wasn't crazy because I was like,
I just wasn't going to say anything. Because I wasn't going to say anything. It was just like
no, it's not a bad thing.
To remind you and to tell Doc, but I don't think he actually cares about any of this.
Well, Doc wasn't here, so it's like kind of fun to like go through this, and I'm like, I remember this, and I remember that.
He says I still listen, so it just confirms what I just said, is that he doesn't care about any of this.
No, I listen. I have ADHD. I don't care. There's a lot of things that don't go into the fucking long-term memory that gone.
You know what I want? I want Doc to read number 4. Go ahead. I don't think you've read yet.
You know what? You read number 4. This one's also horrifying.
We got rogue black holes. Space's relentless wanderers. Black holes are terrifying enough, but a rogue black hole is even worse. Untethered from its galaxy, this monstrous entity drifts through space, consuming anything in its path. Oh, it's like a horror. One such black hole discovered by the Hubble telescope is traveling at 3 million miles per hour. It's comforting to know it's billions of light years away, but there could be others much closer.
So do you know what a black hole...
I hate that one.
The fact that there's like just black holes.
Am I reading or the black holes?
The black holes thing.
No. The black holes.
Just the thought that there are like black. Do you know what a black hole? What actually causes a black hole is a supernova, a star exploding. So basically, when you think of space, right? Everything in space takes up mass, right? So a black hole's density basically blows a hole. It's like an infinite vortex in space. So if you think of like a bed sheet, right? And you put a bowling ball in that bed sheet, you know how it cones in?
Not my bed sheets.
You get the idea of what I'm saying?
Yes.
I'm sorry that you're
answer for Doc. Yes.
So that is what causes gravity. That our Earth takes up a spot in space and it has density. So therefore, it's like a spot in space that has this pull to it, kind of like those little vortex things you throw your coins in. Kind of like how, like, if you put a bowling ball inside of on a bed sheet or on a bed, everything goes right towards it. Everything in space that's gravity. That's how gravity, how a visual representation of anything in space that causes gravity. Our sun, our planets, black holes are the one thing that are way more dense than anything else. So like, it would be like as if that bowling ball kept pulling and kept going down and down and down and down and down. Everything just gets pulled to it, so much so that the gravity of a black hole is so intense that it even pulls light into it. So when you see that, you can't see a black hole. The only
reason
you
call someone a black hole, is it a compliment?
No, it's not. It's just you're super dense and heavy.
But you attract everything towards you.
But you attract everything towards you, even the bad things.
Peter, you're so fat. You have your own gravitational pull.
Even though you attract everything, you devour it all. So,
yeah,
you fat piece of shit.
So
now you throw some damn what's some McGriddles? You throw some sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles at me, I become a black hole. Right? I will fucking eat. I'll eat the wrapper. You ever had one?
Pizza is mine, but yes.
Oh, yeah, dude,
pizza for sure.
Fuck. Shit. Go on, Brock.
Yeah.
Fuck.
God damn. So basically, what
y'all just witnessed an orgasm on camera.
So how a black hole is formed is that, like, our sun, when it goes supernova, will be a black hole.
I can't wait. I can't wait for it.
Maybe that's how we time travel.
I'm excited.
You don't want to time travel to that. So
we don't know how it works.
What I was saying about a black hole, we don't know how it works. Like, we don't know what's in, like, what happens inside of one. We just know why they're caused and what they do. We don't know what happens.
We create like our own black hole, like in all the movies that we see, where they just like open the hole and like gone, warping everything. That's like a hole. It's a black hole.
There's even a movie about it called Event Horizon.
I believe it. I think I've seen it.
So the event horizon is actually like a real term for a black hole. So you have the event horizon, which is like the curvature into a black hole. So light can't escape a black hole. The gravitational pull is just so strong that light can't escape it, which is why you can't see it. But it's also why we can see it. I know that sounds wrong, what I just said. It sounds like it's a contradiction to itself.
It's like a micro penis. You can't see it, but you can.
Exactly. But yes, and in a sense that, like, it sounds like a contradiction, because yes, you can't see a black hole by itself. If it had no light source around it, you would not be able to see it. But because a black hole does devour light and pulls light in, light can't get out. Anything that causes light, it surrounds it. Also, objects that are behind it. Even though a black hole isn't a hole, it's a sphere. So if you were to look at a black hole from the other side, it would look exactly the same. Like, you're just around this dense sphere in space, and it blows. It's super fucking hard to explain, but that's kind of what it is. So because of the light bending around it, that's how we're able to see it.
Yes.
Were you waiting for confirmation
No,
from us there?
I'm like just to kind of like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh.
I feel like this is not a good time. Like this is not a good subject for a rabbit hole.
No.
I disagree. This is a great episode.
I'm in there. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. The way that you speak, it sounds like there's more coming, and then you just stop. And I'm like, okay, yes, we're still there.
I'll work on that. So,
right.
But yes, like so. Basically, the only reason why we're able to observe black holes is because of what it does to light around it. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to see it.
So black holes are like micropenises.
And for the fact that there are just random black holes floating through space that are just fucking sucking everything off,
I like that.
It's terrifying
here
because like if thankfully there is no black hole close to us. Otherwise, we wouldn't fucking.
This is the end.
So I would love to make a short horror film or even a full length horror film, right? Where it is just dudes like it's following a guy going about his regular life, right? But in the background of it, and you kind of have to pay attention to it, is the news kind of being like, hey, black hole's coming, but the guy, like the protagonist, is not paying attention to the surrounding, and then the movie just fucking ends. It just cuts to black. Everything is gone now. Everyone is dead. And that's the end of the movie.
It's kind of like what?
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, in a way.
I don't know. I don't think I've seen that. I know what you're talking about. I don't think I've seen it yet.
It's a great book. Great book, but great movie.
Yeah, but I like that idea, by the way, just so you know. I'm acknowledging it.
If I see a horror movie come out in the next year with that premise, I want my fucking money.
I want my royalties, please.
All my fucking royalties.
So now this next fact kind of goes along with what I said about the Earth being a giant nuclear reactor. So
taking out all our satellites and shit.
Solar superstorms, Earth's electrical nightmare. Our sun isn't just a source of light; it's also capable of unleashing catastrophic solar storms. A coronal mass ejection can cause global blackouts and devastate communication systems. In 2012, Earth narrowly missed a storm that could have caused months, if not years, of power outages.
It didn't miss. 2012 happened.
Yep. See, That's the other thing.
We survived.
That's also what sparked fucking 2012. Is like we could kind of predict a coronal mass ejection based off of what monitoring the sun's activity when it starts to like. That's why we have solar flare season, and that's like the Earth goes into like a state. I can't remember what it's called. It's like a solar maximum. Solar maximums and solar minimums, meaning that like certain times of our year, or certain not of our year, of like a span of years. It's like 15 years or so. Every 15 years, the sun fucking flares up and starts belching out solar wind. We just had one last year. That was our last solar maximum. The next one won't be for another, I think, 20 years or so, 40 years.
Maybe the aliens will be here by then.
Maybe. So right now we're heading towards a solar minimum, which means our sun is still active for like the next 10 or 15 years. And then it starts ramping back up. So 10 or 15 years after that, it'll be active again, which is why they're saying all these northern lights that you're seeing, like we won't see them again for another like 25, 30 years. Yeah and no. Yeah, you'll still get northern lights because solar winds are constantly hitting us. Not to the extent, because solar flares and a lot of these are also on, you can't time them very well. They kind of happen randomly. Like even at a solar minimum, the sun could just be like, and just throw a fucking hot wind right at us.
I know that feeling.
And it'll just be like, oh wow, we had a big solar flare. But these coronal mass ejections are bad. Like they're like a really bad solar storm. Basically, it overloads our magnetosphere to the point where like radio frequencies and power grids they short out. It's like imagine rubbing your feet on a fucking carpet and shocking someone.
These are the things that like they talk about can take out a lot of our satellites, pretty much all of our satellites, really.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine today where everything we fucking do is digital. Everything is our money is digital. Everything, like you go online or you try to go online to do anything, you have no communication. There's no phones. You can't be on the internet. You have to walk to your fucking neighbors to be like, hey, yo, what's going on? I can't connect either. You have to like actually physically go there. There's people that will never make it back to their house because they rely on GPS to go fucking 2 miles down the road.
Or they'll freeze to death and die of heat.
Mm-hmm.
That too. Yeah. I think sorry, Canadians, but you chose a terrible place to live.
I think it's very interesting that like if something like that would happen and let's say the Earth's power grids went out for a year.
Survival of the fittest.
The amount of people that would just be shit out of luck for not having basic, because let's be honest, for a year, all you really need is basic survival skills, and I think you'd be fine, right? Knowing how to make yourself clean water, knowing how to start a fire, knowing how to keep yourself warm, knowing how to find yourself food, you'd be fine for a year. It'd be shitty, but you'd be fine. The amount of people that would die just from not understanding basic survival skills and the reliance that we have on the internet is crazy.
Look at New Orleans during Katrina. That's a good example of what would happen if like everything was like the whole grid, everything was down.
A hurricane?
No, it's like a mini example. Imagine something like Katrina on a global scale. So New Orleans, when they lost power and everything, it was like for a month they were without water, food, electricity, communication, and they were trapped, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the ones that did manage to escape, they had to fucking really go away, like go way out there to get away. But also there's a lot of other things that kind of coincide with that. But that's an example of like if the grid goes out and everybody's out, everyone is survival of the fittest. You have like anarchy in the streets. It's more than just that. You get the looting, the killing over food, water, necessities.
Yeah.
Because at that
point, your neighbor could become your biggest enemy.
Yes. So you have like, obviously you'll have some of the looters that are just going after the shit that isn't a necessity because it's a target of opportunity. But when you're hot, hungry, thirsty, and you just don't have anything, you're like someone's sick, you need some medication or whatever, those things cause people to do horrible things to each other to get those.
Yeah.
Now,
you seen the Obama movie that they made that came out at a really suspicious
Leave
time?
the World Behind or whatever the fuck?
Yeah, that's kind of like what this was. Like, granted, it was done by another country to us, but it was basically this premise where like everything online is just gone.
Truly, if you take out the grid, like you don't have to do a strike on somebody. You could just take out their grid and then let them eat themselves from the inside.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's the modern day what we talked about a while back, or it might have been when we got off. I can't remember, but modern day like taking plague bodies and throwing it over the gates.
Yeah.
You just take out the grid.
Well, we wouldn't have to worry about AI.
That's true.
You're damn right, Doc. You're damn right.
Basically,
problem solved.
Like AI, it's like, oh, I guess AI is not taking over the world. We pulled like literally all the plugs were pulled. Don't have to worry about that shit anymore. Terminator's dead. So,
yep.
Supernovas.
Just to find out AI is the one that turned off the fucking grid so they could take over behind the scenes.
You would hope that they had a contingency.
They got the solar power.
You would hope that they came up with a contingency for themselves at that point, because it's just like, if we pull the plug on everybody, we pull the plug on ourselves. So we should probably figure that out. Solar can only get you so far.
Nuclear.
They're thinking about it right now.
And hot take: nuclear energy is the most reliable and cleanest energy we can have. We're just afraid of it.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
Because of Chernobyl.
That's just a fact.
Not Chernobyl, 3 Mile Island and Fukushima.
All three.
So, supernova, kill zones, radiation death zones. Supernovas are a colossal star explosion that release deadly radiation. If one occurs within 50 light years from Earth, the gamma rays could strip away our ozone layer, leaving us vulnerable to harmful solar radiation. Luckily, no stars near us are close enough to being a supernova. But Betelgeuse, 650 light years away, may be nearing an explosive end. And yes, that is the closest star to... Betelgeuse is our closest star, I think. That one's the closest one to actually be going near its supernova. So that goes back into what I said about like, dude, Earth is literally just sitting in a fucking microwave and like fighting off the fucking all the solar flares and radiation to keep us from getting microwaved.
I love it.
Meteors that could end civilization. Meteors hit Earth all the time. In fact, they hit daily. Most are small and burn up before causing damage. However, every once in a while, a massive one strikes, like the meteor that wiped out the dinosaurs. Though there are countless large meteors in our solar system, and while it's unlikely, another catastrophic impact could end life as we know it.
So, how long can humanity last? Right? How long can our species survive?
It's all luck, honestly.
Well, let's ask
Like,
AI.
are we? I feel like something like this will happen again. However, I don't think it'll happen in the lifetime of humanity.
Maybe, maybe not. I mean, Earth is basically a person standing in the middle of a shooting range.
Yeah, it's true. But it's also it's a big ass shooting range.
It's a massive
More like
shooting
golf,
range.
like a golf driving range, really.
Space is so vast that the chances are very slim, but the fact still remains like meteors still hit Earth every day. They're just not big enough.
I just fuck. Sorry.
Are we boring you?
No, that's not it. I'm really trying to control those because I am actually I'm very interested in this. We are so young, right?
Yeah.
Humanity is very young in the grand scheme of things. How long can we go? We talk a lot about space, and by we I just mean humanity as a whole. We talk about space a lot and how something like this could happen at any time. However, I just think we're gonna kill each other way before anything like this happens. Like it makes me feel like all of this is just a entertainment.
No,
I feel like it's just
all
entertainment
of what,
in a way. The end of the world stuff, the end of the world shit is just entertainment. I think the desire to understand space and all this is a good thing. I just don't think. I think the end of the world stuff is kind of
here's the thing you have. Here's something to take into consideration about that, right? So the humanity as we know it, our civilization as we know it, could end before something like this happens. And what I mean by that is that throughout Earth's history of it being around, we've had, I think, 7 or more extinction level events where life was formed, life existed, life went extinct, then life formed
We
again.
could have already gone extinct.
Yes. That was the point.
Technically.
That's the point I'm getting at, is that like Earth is so old, and it probably will remain so for longer, that like if we wipe ourselves out or we get wiped out by any way, life will just kind of go back, and it always finds, like it says in Jurassic Park, life finds a way. But
Like the pyramids. I
don't think it happened like that's civilization. Who knows what that is? I don't think anyone really knows. But basically, life will just restart, right? It might not be a civilization, and it might
a simulation.
It might be a civilization, but not like the one that we have now. It could be a different one. No one knows if it would be advanced or not. No one knows if there was an advanced civilization. There's theories that there used to be more advanced civilizations that went extinct, and then now we started over. There's like theories of that actually being a thing, where humanity has had multiple modern civilizations throughout Earth's history that have been wiped out and started over again. So something like that could happen. So yes, humanity, like in the Earth could be destroyed completely in one of those later down the road. These are just things that, hey, this is a very possible thing that can happen. So
Or simulation.
Very true.
A dark flow, cosmic conveyor belt. The universe isn't just expanding, it's also being pulled towards something unseen, the great attractor. Scientists have dubbed the phenomenon dark flow. It's a mystery where this pull originates, but entire galaxies, including ours, seem to be adrift. Didn't you just they're saying it's something else, but a few steps before it's the same thing. The great attractor. You guys said you knew what it was, now you're saying you don't. Dumb.
Yeah, that's all right.
Deep space decompression.
Actually, know anything.
Deep space decompression, instant death by vacuum. By the way, not instant. Exposure to the vacuum of space without proper suit is a guaranteed death sentence. Decompression would cause the liquids in your body to boil, your lungs to collapse, and you'd lose consciousness in seconds. This horrifying scenario plays out in many space movies, but the truth is just as terrifying. Now, we are going to dive deeper into that one. Asteroids.
You like swell up.
Asteroids, unseen threats lurking in space. Asteroids are like silent assassins drifting through space with potential to wreak havoc. NASA tracks thousands of them, but with so many, it's impossible to spot them all. The asteroid that killed the dinosaurs was 10 kilometers wide, and the scary reality is that there is another one that could be on a collision course with us right now. And I think this is before that meteor that missed us, that asteroid that missed us. Mm-hmm. The universe is a strange...
No, there's one, the one I'm thinking of, like, is still headed this way.
The closest one right now is 3i Atlas.
So that is the one I was thinking of.
This kind of goes with like another, like, I'm not going to send it to you because it would be waste. I just want you to hear it. Now, the idea of asteroids being silent assassins. An asteroid discovered 2 days ago, this is in October, just flew by Earth. So they saw it 2 days and it flew. Wow, that's actually fucking close. Closer than the moon.
Oh, wow.
So it was within our gravitational pull.
But I think at the speed it was going at, it didn't get pulled by our gravity. So a newly discovered space rock...
It still had to be affected somewhat.
It had maybe...
Because the moon has a gravity pull too.
Yeah, they counterbalance each other. That's why the moon never hits Earth. So a newly discovered space rock zoomed safely past Earth on October 15th, at about a quarter of the average distance from the moon. The asteroid, called 2025 TP5, sailed by our planet at 4:09 p.m., at a minimum distance of 60,000 miles. That's fucking close. According to data from NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. By comparison, the average distance to the moon is 238,000 miles. After passing by Earth, 2025 TP5 will make a close flyby of the moon on Thursday, October 16th. So this already happened. Flying as close as the lunar surface at 74,000 miles. It's a moderately sized asteroid. Now, this is a small one. It's a moderately sized asteroid with an estimated diameter of around 54 feet, which is 16 meters. So TP5 is about the same scale as the 6-story meteor that broke up above Russia in 2013. Despite 2025,
I was literally just reading that.
Despite this being relatively close to Earth, on September 1979, the astronomers only discovered the space rock Thursday, around 4:07 a.m., using asteroid terrestrial impact last alert system. So using our Atlas system, a facility in Hawaii. This facility is in Hawaii, Doc. The Atlas system, our asteroid terrestrial impact last alert system is in Hawaii. It's in Mauna Kea.
Is it on Oahu or a different island?
I don't know, Mauna Kea, wherever that is. Astronomers were the first to post the observations to a circular about, minor planets. So
I'm just looking at the Russia one. That impact was the equivalent of 30 atomic bombs.
So imagine if that fucking hit. Even though it wasn't. No, I'm talking about the new one. The one that they didn't even know was coming. So that's the other thing, right? So these asteroids are truly silent assassins because you can't, like, space, looking at the sky is there's so much, right? And you can only see so much. You'll miss a lot. These fucking things. It broke up it broke apart before it hit, by the way.
So there's been since 1908, there's been 6 massive impacts. You know when the closest one was before 1908?
The dinosaurs?
50,000 years ago. So we've had a lot relatively recently.
I've told you, like, Earth gets hit by this shit all the fucking time. It's just not enough to be an extinction level event, right? Now, the one that we just mentioned about above Russia, yeah, it had that much power of, like, however many atomic bombs, but it blew up before it impacted. Now, if I remember right, this also blew out windows and fucking buildings and shit.
I said the shockwave went around the world twice.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Of that one in 2013.
Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the other thing. I don't know if they detected that before it happened, which I'm assuming they didn't detect that before it happened. Otherwise, they would have given a warning. But the one that that missed us, about the same size, and they only saw it 2 days before it passed us.
Flying glass injured hundreds of people on their way to work.
Yeah. Imagine like all the windows just randomly fucking blow out of every building that you're in.
I'd be pissed.
I would be like, what the fuck just happened? So on to a fun one.
Real quick,
what?
Before we move on, I got a tinkle.
Go pee, baby bladder.
Thanks, buddy. All
right, so now for the juicy stuff. Sex in space.
Literally.
So I used to work at NASA. I have some insights about sex in space. Now this is
he's telling me as he had sex in space. That's what I'm hearing.
This is a woman, by the way.
She had sex in space. That's what I'm hearing.
So we hear almost everything. My friend and NASA colleague, a program scientist for the International Space Station, told me over lunch one day. She was explaining various mission control safety measures for monitoring astronauts' health, psychological state, and overall comfort. Flight controllers are always paying attention for safety. So she asked, you must hear all sorts of stupid stuff. Burps, farts, hiccups, diarrhea. I responded, they're human after all. She said, we do. She said, wow. I leaned in. Really? You're the perfect person to finally tell me the truth. For as long as I worked in science communications at NASA, people always asked the same two questions about human spaceflight. First, they wanted to know about bathroom stuff, which is very easy to answer. By the way, for those that don't know, and NASA folks were often open about oopsies, broken bathrooms, and diapers, aka maximum absorbency garments. But after the poopy talk, we wanted to know about sex. Now, how you use the bathroom in space is that you have to pee and poop inside of this like fucking container thing, and it sucks it out. It keeps it contained and then vacuums that shit right out. You pee in a thing that like basically pulls the pee out of you, or you wear a diaper.
And then it shoots it off into space and then becomes a shit rocket to Earth.
There was even a story that we talked about, like when we first talked about this stuff, about the fucking one of the Apollo missions and the mystery turd.
Yeah, I remember that one.
There was yes, exactly. There was that.
Yeah,
like
exactly what happened.
Like there was like in communication like transcripts were also talking about like who the fuck did that, and it was just like a turd floating around inside of the fucking ship. While they were heading to the moon.
Who did that?
Who just hits the glass and you got like a fucking shit streak on your visor.
And it's like, oh, well, you got to think they're not in a spacesuit while they're in the ship.
While they're going into orbit, I think they are.
Once they leave orbit, or even in orbit, the ISS is in orbit. They're not in suits all the time.
Yeah, I knew that.
So, like, when they were out there, like, throughout travel, they're not wearing a suit the whole time. Which, by the way, the suit does protect you from radiation. The ship does to a degree. And that's why a lot of fucking astronauts develop cancer over time.
They also have, like, terrible muscle issues and everything, too.
Oh, yeah, they do.
And bone issues because their body doesn't, like, hold things the way that it's supposed to.
So, to this day, no one on the Apollo mission has ever admitted that it was their shit that was floating in space in the side of the ship.
I would have absolutely admitted it after so long.
You would think, right? I mean, probably half of them were dead, but like, just imagine you're sitting there, like, you're so excited to go to the moon, and like, you just kind of see something in the corner of your eye, and you turn, and it's like a fucking.
If we did
go to the moon, but imagine you're on a ship going towards the moon, right? And then you're just sitting there, you're so excited, you're like, man, we were about to be the first people on the moon. And then you just see movement of the corner of your eye, and you kind of turn like this, and then you see a fucking turd floating, and you're like, it's like your biggest nightmare. Just a turd.
I got you. Here's the actual logs of what was said.
When
this happened.
Read them.
All right. It was day 6 of the mission. Commander Tom Stafford noticed
before you start, was this the Apollo mission on the way to the moon?
Apollo 10. It served as a test run for Apollo 11's historic moon landing. So it was before.
It was the one before.
Moon run.
Okay.
The one before. It was day 6 of the mission. Commander Tom Stafford noticed it first. Oh, who did that? He asked, laughing. Who did it? Give me a napkin quick, he told the others. There's a turd floating through the air. Talk quickly turned to whose poop it could be, resulting in a pretty hilarious chorus of "not me." I didn't do it. It ain't one of mine, said Command Module Pilot John Young. Lunar Module Pilot Eugene Kernan claimed, I don't think it's one of mine.
Well, how do you not know?
Well, it probably got out of one of the bags.
Probably.
While Stafford was more specific in his denials, mine was a little more sticky than that, he told the others.
Oh my God.
Figuring out how astronauts could answer nature's call was a major challenge NASA had to face if it wanted to keep astronauts in space for more than a few hours. Unfortunately for space travelers trapped in close quarters, the human body experiences decreased gastrointestinal transit time in weightless conditions, meaning astronauts go more in space. These days, astronauts on the International Space Station have a vacuum-powered toilet with seat belts. In the early days of space travel, there were no such luxuries.
Is that where the term is like strap in comes from?
Yeah.
So they
buckle up, it's gonna be a big one.
So they were floating and like holding bags and trying to shit into them, floating around in space. And they would, it sounds like probably pretty often, lose it.
They would lose their shit, literally.
Can you imagine? Yes. You're floating in zero gravity and you're trying to hold this plastic bag over your asshole and you have no control of where you're going. So you're just like kind of fucking
floating everywhere.
You're aimlessly floating around with a shit bag underneath you and you're like, I can't poop.
Just like, just floating everywhere.
Bumping into the walls, trying to like keep the bag so you don't lose one. So it's like,
what's hooked up to your dick or vagina? Like most people take pisses when they shit too.
So,
oh fuck.
Here's this too. In 1961, astronaut Alan Shepard, the first American to travel into space, spent 5 hours waiting for his 15-minute long Freedom 7 flight. He ended up having to pee in his spacesuit, something NASA had not prepared for. How is that not something you think of?
I don't know.
Later, they added waste collection devices, PDF, but they weren't foolproof. In 1963, several systems within astronaut Gordon Cooper's Project Mercury capsule failed due to a leaky urine bag. To reduce the need to pass solid waste on the Mercury missions, astronauts were fed a special low-fiber diet for the 3 days before launch to avoid shitting. That's interesting. An early fecal collection device of astronauts image credit NASA. Wait, why don't I see the image? I just get ads. I don't even get a image.
Wait, what was it called?
Do you want me to send you the
It's an early
link?
What was it called? Early waste collection?
Fecal collection device for astronauts. But and then I'm going to continue reading while you look that up. But of course, everybody needs to poop eventually. During the longer Apollo missions, astronauts essentially had to use an adhesive plastic bag they could attach to their butt. A germicidal tablet inside killed bacteria to prevent gases from building up inside the bag. So they taped a bag to their asses, shitting it with a tablet that ate away the bacteria so the bags wouldn't explode.
So like you were asking, like how do women pee in space? So there's like two devices.
How do the dudes pee in space? Like you got the bag taped to your asshole, your dick's still fucking.
So there's two devices, right? It basically looks like a shaped cup bag with a straw at the end, which is like the vacuum, right? For the guys, it's exactly like a shiwi, but it's like, yeah, it looks exactly like a shiwi. And the men have like a shroud that goes right over your dick, and you pee, and it pulls it like that. So basically, women are
being sucked off, but the urine,
yeah, pretty much. So women are using like a space shiwi, and the guys are just peeing into like what looks like a quarter of a condom with a straw at the end of it. For the
ready to hear more?
For the viewers, it looks like that. Yeah, I'm ready to hear more about space shit. Let's do this.
All right. In all cases, the primary problem has been the separation in a weightless environment of the fecal waste from the crewmen. NASA wrote in an analysis of the
From the
Apollo
what?
fecal
Wait, hang
collection
on.
system
You
in
mean
1972.
separation, meaning like getting it out of them?
Yes.
Oh shit! Is this about to be a poop vacuum that pulls poop out of your butt?
Yeah, that's what they were saying when you like strap in and it sucks it out.
This is what they did before the poop vacuum.
Okay.
Apollo fecal collection system in 1972. Oh, PDF is saying click it and it gives you the picture. Oh no, it just gives you a giant fucking document outlining the system. Okay, that's cool. Anyway, with no gravity, it's hard to get your poop away from your body, and it came with a finger cot, like a condom for your finger, to help move the poop into the bag. The bag was not popular with astronauts. Nothing has proved more effective than the current system, which has proved adequate for all flights, although the crewmen have expressed dislike for it.
So you had to like
shit sucked out of you.
You had to pull the poop off your butthole,
you had to go up inside and like bring it out.
Probably both.
Probably both. Like if it's like it's stuck like a quarter of the way, a quarter of it's still stuck there. You gotta like dig in there and pull it out.
Start digging in your butt, twin.
Start digging in your butt, twin. Oh,
things that they don't tell you about when you want to be an astronaut as a kid.
Yeah.
Here we go. And then, as to who unleashed the Apollo 10's mysterious turd, none of the astronauts on board copped to it. Well, babe, if it was me, I sure would know I was shitting on the floor, Kernan said. The other astronauts continued to claim their own bowel movements were too sticky to be the offender, as evidenced by their experiences.
What's up with everyone having sticky shits in space?
Probably just their diet.
It had to be
eat out there. And then, as evidence by their experiences with the beloved finger cot, so they know how sticky it is because they had to touch it.
Oh, okay.
Imagine having a wipe too. Like trying to sticky shit. It's like that's like the shit that never ends. Like just going through all of the toilet paper.
Here's something too. This is interesting. Once NASA astronauts did touch down on the moon, of course, they elected to leave their bags of feces there. Go ahead and search turd in the Apollo 10 transcripts to find more astronaut poop. Okay, that doesn't matter. They took their shit bags, they took their wag bags and said, I don't want to travel with this anymore. Leave it on the moon.
So there
is astronaut shit on the moon.
so literally, like that just goes to show that humans leave trash everywhere we go. So like, we have like, besides the flag and like whatever debris from the ship that are on the moon, there's just a collective of poop bags on the surface of the moon somewhere,
or whatever they are now.
Do you think that like dog poop it turned white?
Well, actually, the flag itself is
white.
White, like it's whitewashed because of the sun. Like if you were to go up there now and see it, it doesn't look like when we planted it. It just
here's another one, right? So this was before did they actually have the antibacterial tablets in the bags during that time?
Yeah,
they did.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was gonna say there was bacteria on that, which technically means that there's life on the moon at one point.
Yeah.
What if we're creating a new alien species from that?
It's just a bunch of fucking turd goblins.
No, it's just a bunch of Mr. Hankies running around the moon.
They say life finds a way.
Exactly.
Life does
and that way is Mr. Hankies running around the moon. All right.
It's back to sex.
On to the sex. We've talked about the anal. Now the sex.
People have been interested in space sex since at least 1992, when the first and only married astronaut couple joined the 50th space shuttle mission and cohabitated in space together. Now that mission, they were the only ones because they didn't tell anyone they got married. Because it was like a no-no to go in.
Probably because they know that like this is a problem.
Not about the sex thing. It was more of like mission integrity. So it was like basically if something were to go wrong and your wife was involved, you're more prone to save your spouse than focus on the mission.
Yeah.
That was why. So like if something were to go wrong and like it was like someone's going to die and it happened to be your spouse, you either that one person dies or everybody dies. And it was like, if a situation like that ever came about, that a person is more prone to save their spouse at the risk of everybody else.
It's like Attack of the Clones when Anakin wanted to put the ship down to save Padme, and Obi-Wan was all like, "Search your feelings, Anakin. What would she do?" And he was like, "She would do her duty." And then they went and tried to kill Dooku. They got their asses beat.
He basically quoted.
They probably should have went and got her.
He basically like quoted in a different way the Soldier's Creed. Always place the mission first. So anyway, after that, concerns around the physics of erections and hormone levels and microgravity.
So do you know
what?
Click on the physics of erections as another article. It's fucking glorious.
All right, I'll go back to it.
And continue.
I don't like the way that you said that.
The physics of erections.
Around
the physics of erections and hormone levels and microgravity began to percolate, leading to a more curiosity about astronauts' private lives. This has been particularly true for Sunita Williams and Butch Wilmore, who recently returned to Earth after being stuck in the International Space Station together for nearly 10 months. They're not in a relationship, and there's no evidence they were ever intimate, but there has still been the speculation about zero-gravity passion. In fact, they piqued so much interest that when I responded to a question about space travel on TikTok the other day, it went massively viral. More than 9,000 people commented, many of whom were desperate to know about sex and space. I, too, have always been fascinated. As a science writer who specializes in Earth and climate science, what I learned from NASA's human research teams about the effects of microgravity on the human body was both fascinating and grotesque. More than just bone density loss and muscle wasting, I found that an astronaut's fingernails can fall off and that their retinas thicken. But what about the extracurriculars? When the space shuttle...
Your face.
Could you imagine? Oh, there it goes.
I just lost my thumbnail. So when the space shuttle program was active, astronauts would spend somewhere between 5 and 16 days in orbit, but a typical length of the stay at the ISS is about 6 months, and some stay as long as 300 days or more. That's a long time to go without, especially if you take into consideration that over 60% of adults have had a workplace romance.
What? Never.
No. There had to be some sort of chemistry up there. Of the 676 people who have left Earth's gravity, wouldn't at least a few of them be eager to join the 250-mile high club? What about the rumors? I whispered to my colleague through a din of cafeteria noise. The astronauts have to be hooking up. If there's audio, you've heard them having sex, right? Moaning. She paused for a bite, then looked at her sandwich to avoid eye contact with me. Come on. I slapped the table. Tell me, this isn't the Alien movie. I lowered my voice again. In space, can anyone hear you come? I don't have authority to disclose that information, she said with a smirk.
Wow. Deflection.
Then she turned away and began giggling like a maniac. She said it without saying it. Yes, sex happens. Yes, NASA can hear them. And no, they'll never admit it.
That's interesting.
That always bothered me. Why is sex in space one of those nudge, nudge, wink, wink NASA legends that everyone knew about, but no one would disclose or admit? I'd always thought that a more open NASA would be good for an agency of good for science. But
maybe it's how like the Navy and the military, particularly the Navy, is like no sex or even masturbation even happens on naval ships.
They're lying.
Completely illegal. They even it's technically against the rules to jerk off on ship.
Yeah, that's an old law. So,
we know it fucking happens.
We know it happens. Especially your bunkmates, they know it happens. But at NASA, withholding information was the norm. I saw cover-ups firsthand when in 2017 I presented at South by Southwest at high-profile technology and media conference. NASA HQ sent me a list of talking points that included instructions to pivot away from the subject of the question to give the reporter a related NASA positive.
Well, it is a government organization, so
a week later...
We might not know everything.
A week later, when Donald Trump proposed funding cuts for 3 NASA Earth science missions as well as NASA's education office, HQ responded with, "Don't say anything or respond to any emails. Celebrate funding for Mars and solar system instead." On top
makes me think of?
What?
Remember when we covered the conjoined twins, and we're like, I want to know the answers to the questions that everybody is.
Oh yeah, the
asking.
twins that married the fucking dude in the army. Yeah,
like this is similar to
we
that.
Want to know.
Tell us the answers to the questions that we all want to know.
I mean, well, they have a baby now, so
wild. We'll be coming to back to that for sure.
I want that guy to follow me so bad.
We want him on. We when we were doing the other podcast, we wanted him on.
We did. I will say I have grown to the point I would not be the one to be like, come on, tell me.
I'll do that.
But I would, like, on the inside, I'm like, just say it. Just say, because it's not just him, it's them too. And if they're not comfortable with that being out there, fine.
He's talked about it with his friends.
This is one of those. This is a conversation that he would probably have with somebody off camera.
Yeah, and say don't say anything.
This is kind of like the alien thing. If you want to work there because you want to know for your own curiosity.
That's more interesting than aliens to me.
Yeah.
and it's. Hold on. What were their names?
I don't remember. Let me continue this.
Okay.
Just do conjoined twins. It'll come right up.
So on top of secrecy, most people forget that astronauts on the space station are international. As of March 21, Expedition 73 crew consists of 3 NASA astronauts, 3 Russian cosmonauts, and 1 Japanese astronaut. I wouldn't be surprised.
Why does the Russians like to be different?
It's that they were actually the first.
Why do everyone else have to be different?
Because their language is different.
Well, astronaut versus cosmonaut is what I'm talking about.
Cosmonaut, cosmic, explorer, cosmo. Like, it's just the way that language translates. All right.
Continue.
I wouldn't be surprised if the rendezvous in space were between people from different countries, but NASA's American astronauts tend to be pretty straight-laced. The Russians have vodka, and the Italians have a specially designed espresso machine. Wow, of course they fucking do. But our astronauts are stuck with orange-flavored powdered drink mix. Of course, we have to have the most boring shit, which tells you everything you need to know about the differences between space programs. In fact,
it's like our military. Like, they get beards, we have to shave.
So, in fact, aside from a few male astronauts who've opened up about things like space erections, the whole culture at NASA is prude. One report by the space agency suggests that missions to Mars would be an all-female crew to avoid astronauts having sex during the long journey, as if NASA didn't realize that obviously the women could have sex with each other.
That was literally my first thought.
Besides, there's always masturbation. I'm certainly someone could figure out how to manage that quietly if they wanted to. The prospect, I promise you, if I was an astronaut and I jerked off in space, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you. I
would be the loudest jerk-offer of all time.
I will tell you exactly what happened. Did the force of my cum throw me? Was it like when I wash myself that the water just sticks to me? Did my cum just fucking make like this liquid bubble around my peen and I had to figure out how to clean it off without making a mess? I would tell people. I'd be like, let me tell you about fucking.
It could be like a thruster, like a short thruster.
Let me tell you, like all things in space, when things are moving, they don't stop, right? Because there's nothing to stop them. I would fucking tell you. And this is probably why I'll never be an astronaut, but like
other things,
among other things that I'm kind of retarded. But the other thing, like I would seriously, I'd be very open about it. I'd be like, yeah, I did it, and this is what happens when you come in space. Like, but most astronauts they won't talk about it, which is stupid. It's fucking stupid.
Crazy. Because also astronauts, I think the majority of them actually are veterans. They're in the Navy.
They're Air Force veterans.
Most of them are Navy.
Most of them are actually Air Force.
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Were they Navy pilots?
I don't know if they're considered pilots? I know NASA is like technically a Navy organization.
So anyway,
like Buzz Aldrin, or not Buzz Aldrin, Captain James A. Lovell, the hospital in fucking that I unfortunately worked at in Great Lakes.
Yeah,
he was a Navy captain.
Oh,
but he was an astronaut.
So hang on, let me continue this.
One report. So I didn't know that for the longest time. So
one report by the space agency suggested that missions to Mars. Oh, I already said that. Besides, there's always masturbation. I'm certainly someone can figure out how to manage quietly. The prospect of observing low gravity ejaculation, be it your own or someone else's, you're gonna watch your fucking crewmate come for science.
For science.
It's like, hey, bud, I need to watch you come for science. I need to know what happens. The prospect, so it seems irresistible, even if afterward you had to chase down the droplets with tissues. Ugh. As far as logistics go, missionary position wouldn't exist in the microgravity environment. There are also concerns that a micro or low gravity situation, two people pushing against each other, could float away. This means that sexy time in space would most likely need to occur inside an astronaut's quarters, which are prone to booth-sized private cabins with sleeping bags strapped to the wall, kinky with or without a partner. That said, much of the space station is covered in Velcro, which would be useful for holding up against the wall. Astronauts could squeeze together into one of the small sleeping bags or strap themselves together and push against each other by bracing arms and legs against the sides of the cabin. Sounds exciting. Researchers have proposed studying sex in space, but so far the only documented case is a pornographic science fiction film called The Uranus Experiment. If NASA wasn't so uptight, it could provide more specifics, but as an insider, I'm now convinced it's true. They do have sex on the space station. They just don't expect NASA to ever admit it. Can you imagine? It's just like you have to strap yourself to the inside of the hull with a bunch of Velcro to not fucking bounce away. Inside of the fucking ship. Now I want to. Now I'm curious about.
You got to do that. How astronauts could get it on if they really wanted that.
Well, the physics of an erection.
Yeah, that one.
So how astronauts could get it on if they really wanted to. During the first morning in space shuttle Discovery, astronaut Mike Mullane woke up with a massive hard-on. So this is the one that was all.
Docking maneuvers aren't just hard for spaceships.
I like that. Scientists once questioned whether erections would be possible in space because blood and fluids shift and redistribute through the body without gravity. Hormones that increase one's sex drive also plummet, but a few male astronauts have opened up about the changes they have observed in their own anatomy. Not only is it possible to get aroused in space, but sometimes the environment has a turbo effect, giving rise to the nickname of the experience, Space Viagra. I had an erection so intense that it was painful, Mullane said in his book, which is named
Riding Rockets.
His book's called Riding Rockets. I could have drilled through kryptonite. Damn, dude, very descriptive. Now tell us,
goddamn,
did you take care of that? We want to fucking know. NASA, on the other hand, would rather not talk about sex, but it's been the modus operandi for the past 60 years of sending humans into space. No one.
I'll read this book now.
No one, to its knowledge, has ever joined the Hundreds of Miles High Club, according to NASA. Though, contrary to popular belief, the agency has no formal policy regarding sexual activity in space. We depend and rely on professionalism and good judgment of our astronauts. This sounds like a fucking military answer, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It is a military organization.
We rely on the professionalism of our Marines to not get drunk and fucking kill people by accident, but they'll do it.
AVA.
But here we are, in an age of the U.S. space agencies preparing for a long-duration missions to the moon and Mars, crewed with both men and women, with no first-hand knowledge of how doing the deed in space works. Meanwhile, Blue Origin and Virgin Galactic are taking more and more civilians up to kiss the Kármán line, where Earth's atmosphere and outer space meet. So for years, experts thinking about the future survival of the species have called to NASA, but it gets its head out of the clouds to commit to formally studying sex in outer space. But perhaps now the need for research is more obvious. We know what people do on hotels on Earth. But it just goes on about the idea of it.
They fuck. People fuck on space.
The obstacle in Newton's third law of motion: for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. On Earth, gravity and body weight create pressure that aids in missionary, cowgirl, and practically every other sex position. But in zero gravity, two people pushing against each other will float away. Because of this, sex would probably require strategies to keep the participants from drifting apart every time they thrust. Imagine you're just bouncing and she's floating and you're like trying to keep her. So the relatively boring solution is already the status quo design element of International Space Station. Walls are covered in Velcro, so all one might need to do is mount to a consenting partner to the sticky surface. But space experts have, of course, considered other options too. Pandia suggests the technique and devices astronauts are trained to use for CPR could serve as a dual purpose. The device that could save your life is also one that could possibly create more.
You know what I was thinking?
Wow.
You know, when you're floating in space, because they're technically they're like floating while they're sleeping. When you get that feeling of falling, what does that feel like in space?
I don't know.
Probably feels like falling, and then you're
always,
up.
But you're always falling.
But you're not. You're just suspended.
I
would imagine it just feels exactly like it does when you sleep, and you get that sensation, and you wake up and you go, "Oh, I'm fine."
How could you sleep then?
What?
If that's how it always feels, how could you sleep? If that's usually what wakes you up.
So here's a photo of an example of what it looks like when an astronaut sleeps. They're basically in a fucking onesie.
I can see the thought process happening here.
No, I'm confused at how you arrived at they always feel like they're falling.
No, because if like the floating feeling, like it feels like you're floating, that's the feeling that wakes you up.
There is a phenomenon when
if that's always the feeling that you get, how do you sleep? Because if that's the feeling that wakes you up.
I don't know. Maybe it's probably like an internal feeling. It's like a phantom sense, kind of.
Yeah.
I
thought you said falling.
There's a phenomenon that actually happens on spacewalks that sometimes astronauts on their first spacewalk will freak out that they're afraid they're going to fall.
I can see that.
Because they look down and they think they're going to fall on Earth, right? I mean, you're going to float away, but I don't know.
They think they're going to like plummet.
I'd be terrified. I look at pictures of it and I'm like, imagine plummeting to Earth from there and burning up.
I mean, you wouldn't hit the ground. That's for
you
sure.
wouldn't. You wouldn't imagine very long.
No, it'd be terrifying.
Hard to say because maybe you'll burn up, maybe not. Like
you will absolutely burn up.
I think you gotta also remember a lot of that is from friction, and at terminal velocity, we don't fall as fast as other things.
That's true. I mean, we did have the Red Bull guy.
He wasn't
do it.
He died too recently.
Did he?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, so I was also wrong.
I watched that live. I remember watching that live with my family and be like, this is gonna be crazy. And I also remember watching him like they were like, if he doesn't stop himself from spinning, he's gonna fucking die on live television.
Get this. You would not burn up if you simply fell from space. You would if you had orbital velocity. Falling from a rest would mean that you reach terminal velocity, which is much lower than orbital speeds and does not generate enough heat to burn you.
So you would hit the ground?
Yes.
Assuming you didn't spin out of control and die that way, which would probably be what would kill you.
While re-entering from orbit at hypersonic speed would compress the heat and air to the point of incineration. Falling from orbit, if you fell from orbit, yes, you would burn up. This is because you're traveling at orbital speeds. Now, if you were to just fucking push away from the space station and slowly fall, you probably won't. It would take a long fucking time, but no.
Mm-hmm. So I was also wrong in a sense. So like early astronauts were Navy pilots and captains. Yes. But it's a completely separate entity.
So speaking of falling out of space into the Earth, our last topic, what would happen to your body in space without a suit?
A segue.
I've done that.
Then this guy,
you've been
yeah. Yeah, I've been to space. I took my helmet off and I was like, it sucks, and I put it back on.
Go back to the other article real quick. The one we just read. This picture of the dude sleeping, doesn't it look like mandatory fun day?
I can't see it. I couldn't even look at the article of the sex thing because it wanted me to buy a fucking pass to read the article. Listen to
From Mashable.com.
All right. So what would happen to the human body in the vacuum of space? Not anything good, by the way. So imagine that you're an astronaut exploring the vast expanse of the space, and you're sucked out of the airlock. What would happen to your body if you were exposed to the vacuum of space and you weren't wearing a suit? First thing to note is that many Hollywood depictions of this scenario are overblown. They show people unprotected by helmets or spacesuits exploding or instantly freezing to death. In reality, the effects would be the same, but less exaggerated. An astronaut floating without a suit in space would not survive, but their demise would happen within minutes, not within seconds. So it would be slow, by the way. It would be a gnarly exit with boiling bodily fluids and nearly frozen nose and mouth. Space is a vacuum devoid of air, meaning that unlike Earth, there is no atmosphere and no pressure. Atmospheric pressure determines the temperatures at which liquids boil and turn gaseous. If the pressure exerted by the air outside is a liquid and outside liquid is high, it is at sea level on Earth. It's harder for bubbles of gas to form, rise to the surface, and escape. But because there is virtually no atmospheric pressure in space, the boiling point of liquids decreases significantly. As you can imagine, given that 60% of the human body is made up of water, this is a problem. An element scientist for the So in absence of pressure, liquid water in our bodies would boil, changing immediately from liquid to gas. In essence, all of your body tissues would contain water, will start to expand. So you'll swell up because your internal, like the water in your body will boil. Same with your blood. Mm-hmm. Some humans have actually been exposed to near vacuums and survived to tell a tale. In 1966, an aerospace engineer at NASA was helping test the performance of a spacesuit prototype in a massive vacuum chamber. At some point in the test, the hose feeding pressurized air into a suit was disconnected. I stumbled backwards. I could feel the saliva on my tongue starting to bubble just before I went unconscious. That's the kind of the last thing I remember.
I wonder if it's similar to the bends, like when you come up from.
It is, but not.
Super deep depths.
You gotta think. So you're coming from high pressure to very low pressure. So it is the same thing. But way worse. So the formation of gas bubbles in bodily fluids, known as embolism, also occurs in deep water scuba divers who surface too quickly.
Hey!
Because they go from an underwater environment of high pressure to low pressure at the water surface. For suitless astronauts, the blood flowing through the vein boils less quickly than water in tissues because the circulatory system has its own internal pressure. But massive embolism in the body's tissues would result rapidly. A 2013 review that looked at previous exposures to vacuums in animals and humans found that they lost consciousness within 10 seconds. Some of them lost control of their bladders and bowel systems, so they pissed and shit themselves.
Is that where the joke comes from? Like, before you die, you'll shit your brain? You'll shit yourself?
No, I mean, you do, but like this is like tenfold. The swelling in their muscles constricted blood flow to their hearts and brains, and their expanded muscles acted as a vapor lock. No human can survive this. Death is likely in less than 2 minutes. So they basically just stuck a bunch of animals in a fucking vacuum to see what would happen.
Well, yeah.
As we learn, that's how we test everything. According to NASA's Bioastronautics data book, the vacuum of space would also pull air out of your lungs, causing you to suffocate within minutes. After an internal rush of air surged out, the vacuum would continue to pull gas and water vapor from your body through your airways. The continuous boiling of water would also produce a cooling effect. The evaporation of water molecules would absorb heat energy from your body and would cause parts of your nose and mouth to nearly freeze. The remainder of your body would also cool, but it would do so more slowly because not as much evaporation would take place. An astrophysicist, Paul Sutter, told Forbes, temperature is a measure of how much energy atoms and molecules have to move about. And because space is almost empty, there's not much to move at all, making it cold, quote unquote. This also means that there isn't matter in space to transfer heat to. However, a person could freeze from the evaporation of their body's water and the slow loss of heat via radiation emanating from their body. So basically, your tongue will swell, your blood and liquids in your body will boil, and you'll fucking swell up, and your face will freeze, and your lungs.
They actually accurate depict this in
implode.
Like modern movies,
modern ones,
even in Marvel.
Well, now modern ones, yeah, because now they have a more of an understanding, right?
Yeah, I mean, like even in Marvel, when I think it was Star-Lord went into space, like he swelled up and shit.
Yeah, in a way, yeah, and no at the same time. So like,
Well, he was also part God, so he didn't get the full thing. So.
Right. That's the other thing you have to think too. There was a lot of fucking fiction in that too. So, but yeah, like it's not a fun way, and it's slow. That's the other thing. Like you'll fucking pass out quick, but you won't die quick. It'll take you minutes to die, and it's a horrible death, and you'll feel it for the first like 15 seconds.
Gross.
That's what my wife said too.
I guess. So yeah, space is horrifying. A lot of things can go crazy with space, and spoopy. Aliens too.
I think the next episode should be about simulation theory.
Simulation theory.
Yeah, that's a great segue into this.
While we're all like living in a simulation.
Yeah,
I like it. All right.
All right. Well, that was it, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you got bored, sorry.
Thanks for diving down our black hole.
I find this interesting. You know, talking about the things of space that most people don't. You know,
should have listened to this in the car on a long road trip.
Yeah.
Let us know if you got this far.
Yeah. Let us know if I bored you to death. Like Doc and Blake, I know you're a little interested. Doc is like, I don't care enough. This isn't.
I think it's smart enough,
but it's not stimulating to you.
I'll show you stimulation.
It's not. You don't.
Sex in space could be stimulating, but no one will fucking tell us.
I know. That drives me crazy. It's just like, just fucking tell us, right? It's like, why does it have to be such a taboo secret that people fuck?
I wonder if that dude tell us in riding rockets.
Probably not. I mean, he did say he had a hard on. I want to know if he took care of it, or at least tried to. You know, like, I got to know, because like, you know, what happens to your cum? Like, what obviously does it like poot out and just kind of fucking like what water does, like it'll stick to you, or does it fucking just propel out and just float eternally?
Or does it also just kind of like not really come out, and you're just like, it's kind of like stuck in the tube?
Yeah, and you can't use the poop finger to get it out, so it's like
you can't get it out.
It's like,
you can pinch and pull like a tube of toothpaste,
or you could. Oh, you know what you could do? Like the same tool that they use to pee, and just jerk off into that.
That's what I would do.
Yeah,
I feel like that's probably the answer, and that's why they don't say anything. I
jerk off into a quarter condom vacuum.
Yeah.
It's wild that they just sit there, strap in, and the shit just gets sucked out of them.
Well, I wonder, can it get through your tubes? Because it's got to go
urethra,
like everything. Like, can it get through that whole system?
Well, yeah, because you gotta remember, like when you're peeing, you're applying pressure behind it.
That's true.
And the vacuum just assists that pressure, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, like Kegels. Part of your Kegels are a good portion of the.
But taking a shit,
it's a force.
Yeah, taking a shit is not the same way, because it's like, yeah, there's some force behind it, but your muscles are the things that are pushing your shit out, and that's why it gets stuck, because your muscles are trying to push it out. Your muscles atrophy in space. It can only go so far. At a certain point, the end where your muscles aren't pushing anymore, it's just stuck at the end of your asshole. So it's like, you got to dig in there and pull it out, or use the help of a vacuum. Same with like probably coming, right? So if you blow a load in space, your prostate's giving just enough pressure. It's like it's a muscle flex to push it out.
Yeah.
Same with like a bladder too, but like it's probably weakened because you're atrophied in space, and there's not nearly enough pressure behind it as there is piss. So you would almost have to do it into the vacuum. As disappointing as that is to me, that you can't just try to blow it out in the open and catch it, or like go into or do what they did on Apollo 10 and do it into a bag.
Go get your catcher's mitt, dude. What did they do? So, hold on, that's another thing to think about. Like, I want the OGs to talk about, because now we got technology, and like, yeah, the vacuum thing like probably is how you do it. What'd you do before then?
They probably didn't at all.
Think so? You think it just held on?
Probably.
But like, what if you do wake up with that hard on? That hurts so much.
Here you go. I'm gonna put this.
Are you just like you're just sitting there and going?
You also have to remember it probably hurts so much because of the blood flow to it, right? Oh, that's the one. That does look like Austin.
I'm putting right. That's I told you. It looks like fucking Mandatory Fun Day in space.
This does look like Mandatory Fun Day. Blake, you gotta take this. You gotta take this photo and send it to Austin and be like, "Did you go to space?"
So I put into ChatGPT what it would be like to ejaculate into space, and this portion of what I got is the best part.
Well, before you do, so to answer your question about what do you do about that hard on, it probably wasn't arousal, right? So part of an erection is arousal, but the functional part of an erection is blood flow.
Blood. Yeah, that's why you wake up with hard on.
Even if
it's not arousal, it's blood flow.
In my case, it's both. But even if he did try to crank one out, it probably wouldn't relieve it because the blood is trapped there.
Priapism.
True.
Priapism, yes. So like it's like when you take Viagra and you have an erection lasting longer than 4 hours, that basically is the blood is stuck in your dick.
Ow.
So how do you get it out when you're in space? You just like fucking just like try to grab it at the end and start pulling it back into yourself.
Start milking it down,
holes, dude. Start poking holes.
I gotta bleed.
Imagine?
I gotta bleed my dick.
I gotta bloodlet my wiener.
All right, read the.
That had to be a real thing back in the day.
Go get the space leeches.
So what happens after ejaculation? No falling down. On Earth, semen is pulled by gravity. In space, it floats. The liquid forms spherical droplets thanks to surface tension. Each droplet stays intact and can drift indefinitely until it hits the surface. Just like the shit, but just semen on the face.
I think that would be way worse than a turd hitting me in fucking space. Just getting a fucking money shot in the like I'm on my way to the moon and it's just a fucking piece of spunk hits me in the eye. Like, come on.
Even a small release would produce multiple free-floating globs because it comes out in spurts. Think like tiny translucent pearls that stick to nearby walls or skin. You could literally get a pearl necklace.
Can you imagine just Apollo 11 landing like Houston? We're landing on the moon. Oh fuck!
Or even worse, they're they turn smile and it gets in their mouth.
That's part momentum and recoil. Technically, ejaculation creates a tiny amount of thrust. So if a person were completely unanchored, they would drift backward by an absurdly small amount. A few centimeters per minute.
No way.
It's been jokingly dubbed the world's least efficient propulsion system.
There's absolutely no way that could be. I think ChatGPT is lying.
I think it's making shit
I think it's real.
There's no way.
It says containment and cleanup is the real engineering problem.
You're like, wee.
Well, it says a few centimeters per minute, so it's not a lot. It's not even like you would really notice it. So without gravity.
Hold on. What if you're stuck in the space station? You're just in the sweet spot. You can't reach anything. There's no one around. You're stuck. And you go, I got to make it to a wall. Slowly, you're like, I'm getting there. It's almost there. And you're like, I've almost got it. Got it. How'd you do that, buddy? I spunked everywhere.
You'll see it. You'll see it floating.
You'll see it float. We gotta find it.
Alrighty.
That was awesome.
Environmental risk. If any escaped, the air filtration system could potentially suck them into the environmental control unit. Not dangerous, just gross.
I was gonna say, could your fucking could a glob of your brick fucking take out the ISS?
Could you imagine? They go, we went for all possibilities. We did not go for the possibility of spunk getting into the system.
No,
they're plummeting to Earth.
What
Space sexology is a real thing.
Yeah, because they're studying fucking repopulating.
Fucking yes, literally.
Well, they're studying like procreation for colonization, right? So it's like, so if they want to like expand life beyond Earth, you know, there's a certain act that kind of needs to happen. I'm willing to bet in a low gravity or zero gravity situation, you probably wouldn't be able to conceive.
No.
Your swimmers are like, I can't get there. Fucking move.
Yeah,
maybe it would help.
What is this?
You gotta bring a leaf blower with you.
Because they're already in a liquid form and state regardless. So like gravity to them isn't really. They're within the bubble.
You gotta bring a bike pump.
yeah, pump. Like you're gonna queef a bit, but I gotta do this.
I'm up with the pump. You up?
All right.
Oh, imagine that. Imagine like having to queef in space, or being pumped full of air like that.
I imagine your farts in space are quiet because the air just goes out of you. All right. Anyway. Well, guys, thanks for hanging out with us again on another rabbit hole. We love you. We appreciate you. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and share everything. So we'll see you guys on the next hole.
Like the video.
Have a good one, everyone.
I love you all, and I actually do want to hear about your Veterans Day. Sorry I said that. Bye.
You cut out when he said that. He wants to hear about your Marine Corps birthday stories. So, all right. Have a good one, everyone. Bye.
Bye.